Chapter 1504, To the Qi Clan. Lin Feng was famous in Ba Huang and had a lot of influence. After the events in Fortune City, he had done many incredible things. He had killed Long Teng, Qi Tiansheng, he had been oppressed by 2 emperors and was then banished. During the meeting of the emperors, he had killed some of Tianlong's princes, and had killed Qi Qianren. He was famous for being a strong demon and a sword cultivator. Besides, each time he killed people, they were seemingly stronger than him. Lin Feng was a true genius. Such people were rare. Even amongst that group of people, he could be considered strong. Nobody would believe him if Zhou Tianruo said Lin Feng wasn't worth mentioning. Therefore, everybody couldn't wait to hear Zhou Tianruo's answer. "You seem to know a lot," said Zhou Tianruo looking at that young man in a cold way. Then he said indifferently, "Lin Feng is not a bad cultivator, we fought, there's nothing exceptional about that." The nice-looking young man smiled indifferently and said, "If you didn't kill him, it must mean that he's a real genius. Zhou Tianruo, you have broken through to the 9th Zun Qi layer, and you control Golden Holy Qi. Yet, you can't compete with a cultivator from Ba Huang." "How ridiculous is that," said a voice in a cold way. The one who was talking was sitting on the southern side. He hadn't said anything so far. But when he heard that Zhou Tianruo couldn't defeat a cultivator from Ba Huang, he looked at Zhou Tianruo in a disdainful way. "Xiao Qifeng, do you think you're so strong?" said Zhou Tianruo. "I wouldn't describe myself as a strong cultivator, but we're in Ba Huang. I don't think that people from Ba Huang who aren't at the very top of the Zun Qi layer can defeat me here." "I haven't met anyone yet either," said Xiao Qifeng in a cold way. What he meant was that he was stronger than Zhou Tianruo, at least. "Brother Qiao is right. The same applies to me," said another young man smiling thinly. He despised cultivators from Ba Huang. Many people from Ba Huang who were around looked unhappy after they heard that. Amongst those young men, there were 2 kinds of people, those who thought there were geniuses in Ba Huang and those thought nobody in Ba Huang could compete with them. After all, they were geniuses who had grown up in incredibly beneficial environments for practicing cultivation. "Interesting conversations, brothers," said someone else. A silhouette appeared in front of them. "Brother Yu Chen, what is your opinion?" said Xiao Qifeng, smiling at that young man. "Brother Qiao, what you say is not unfounded. There are no geniuses in Ba Huang," said Qi Yuchen smiling. "You can't say that, in the Ba Huang province there are many geniuses who have special bodies which grant them incredible powers. They will even have the opportunity to leave Ba Huang province soon. Maybe then they will exceed our expectations," said the young man who had praised Jun Moshi, while glancing at Xiao Qifeng and Qi Yuchen. "Why ruin people's determination? If Kong Ming and Lin Feng were in front of me, I could kill them in one punch," said Xiao Qifeng arrogantly. When Xiao Qifeng said that, he glanced at Zhou Tianruo in a deep and meaningful way. Zhou Tianruo hadn't defeated Lin Feng in the Celestial Walls manner, so when Xiao Qifeng said he'd kill Lin Feng in one punch, it was to infuriate Zhou Tianruo. After all, he had no qualms against Lin Feng. "I am convinced you could," said Qi Yuchen calmly. When Zhou Tianruo heard them, he became upset. In that small world, those people were just like him, so how could he admit that he was any weaker than them? "I could do the same. I could kill Lin Feng in one punch if I used my full strength," said Zhou Tianruo after remaining silent for a few seconds. In the crowd, Lin Feng was smiling quietly. Lin Feng turned around, wanting to leave. However, at that moment, someone smiled at him. "Brother." Lin Feng was very surprised to see that person. He was just behind him, but Lin Feng hadn't sensed his presence. If they were enemies, he could have killed him instantly. Of course, enemies couldn't find him easily. Mu Chen had left some memories in Lin Feng's brain to find him no matter the technique. "Come with me," said Mu Chen, indifferently glancing at the young men from the holy city. Then, Lin Feng and Mu Chen left. "Thank you for inviting us, Brother Yu Chen," said Xiao Qi Feng. "If someone could compare their strength with Brother Zhou, that'd be even more interesting." "I have no objection," said Qi Yu Chen. The others didn't refuse. But the young men stood up and left. The crowd was disappointed, they wished they could have seen those people fight. Lin Feng followed Mu Chen and they walked through Shuri City, gathering together with their fellow disciples. That was Emperor Yu's plan. After destroying Tianlong Divine Castle, Tiantai's disciples had all converged in that ancient city. At that moment, all the 12 disciples of Tiantai, including Ho Qin Lin and Mu Chen, were there. "Brother, are we going to the Qi clan?" asked Lin Feng smiling. "Why else would they gather in Shuri City?" "Of course. Last time, there was only you, Wuxia, and Qin Tian. This is something we should do together," said Mu Chen smiling. Then, he looked at Ho Qin Lin and said, "Qin Lin, bring our fellow disciples to the Qi clan, you know what to do." "I'm going to inform our teacher." "I understand," said Ho Qin Lin nodding. Everybody looked excited. It was going to be the Qi clan's turn again. "Let's go," said Ho Qin Lin. Everybody's silhouette flickered, but they didn't fly, they stayed inconspicuously on the ground. What an incredible Qi! Who are those people, thought many people who were on the main road. A short time before, they had seen a dozen young men who had an incredible Qi and an imposing appearance as well. Now, there was another group. What was going on? "I think I saw Ho Qin Lin from Tiantai. I think I saw Tian Qi the monk. I think I saw Lin Feng," thought some people. Tiantai's people. They suddenly thought about Tianlong who had been destroyed by Tiantai. "I also saw Xia Tian Fan in the air, the one who fought the geniuses from Ba Huang." "Are you sure?" "They're all going to the Qi clan it seems." Many people were realizing what was going to happen. "Let's go to the Qi clan." Suddenly, many people followed the group from Tiantai. Chapter 1505, Tiantai's terrifying army. The Qi clan had existed for many years in Shuri City and was quite famous. Last time, Lin Feng and Wuxia had gone there and killed hundreds of Zun cultivators from the Qi clan. They didn't destroy the Qi clan entirely, but at least they had caused some damage. At that moment, in Shuri City, many people were heading towards the Qi clan. They looked both confident and at ease. Behind them, there were many people who were following while maintaining a certain distance from Tiantai's disciples. They wanted to watch what happened. The Qi clan also knew that Tiantai's people were coming, but they didn't do anything, instead they remained particularly calm. Nobody ran towards Tiantai's people. Maybe if Emperor Qi didn't show up, all the Qi clan's people would die. The 11 disciples stopped in front of the governmental buildings and calmly stood there without saying anything. Ho Qin Lin shook his hand and the disciples rose up in the air at the same time. "We are Tiantai's disciples, we came to pay a visit to the outstanding and heroic disciples of the Qi clan," yelled Ho Qin Lin, loudly enough that everybody heard him in the surroundings. From the distance, some silhouettes flickered. Lin Feng looked at the leader of the group and recognized him to be Qi Qian Xing very quickly. Those people arrived in front of Ho Qin Lin and the others. "We've been looking for you," said Qi Qian Xing in a cold way. "What a coincidence, because we're here now." "There's no need to continue looking for us, I guess," said Mu Chen as he slowly descended from the sky. The 12 disciples of Tiantai were together now. Mu Chen just smiled indifferently and said, "A year ago, the Qi clan and some other people came to Tianjing, but Tiantai had dispersed already, so we didn't have the opportunity to fight. So I decided to bring my fellow disciples here to fight against you now, a battle to the death." "How do you want to organize the battles?" asked Qi Qian Xing pensively. "The emperors can't participate. You and I are cultivators at the very top of the Zun Qi layer, so if you don't get involved, I won't get involved. You can decide whether you want to have one-on-ones, 2-on-2s, etc. But not matter, they will all be battles to death, said Mu Chen indifferently and calmly. My people can choose whomever they want as an opponent, asked Qi Qianxing. You're lucky you're a cultivator at the very top of the Zun Qi layer, because what you say is ridiculous. I already gave you the chance to choose the rules. What do you want now? Make the strongest cultivators of the Qi clan fight against the weakest cultivators of Tiantai. If you choose one person, I'll send Ho Qing Lin or Lin Feng, 2 people, Lin Feng and Ho Qing Lin together, 3 people Lin Feng, Ho Qing Lin and Tian Qi, 4 people, Ho Qing Lin, Lin Feng, Tian Qi and Wuxia, and so on, said Mu Chen. You know who's going to fight now, so you choose if you want to fight or not. If I refuse, what then, said Qi Qianxing. After he heard Mu Chen, he knew that they had no chance to win. Ho Qing Lin's strength was enigmatic. Lin Feng was also extremely strong. In the Qi clan, apart from Qi Qianxing, nobody could defeat those two. With those rules, the Qi clan would definitely lose. Then, we'll fight against all the disciples of the Qi clan, said Mu Chen calmly. You're in our territory, said Qi Qianxing. I already invited you to fight. If you refuse, we can only take the initiative to start battling. When you killed people from Tiantai, we didn't say anything, said Mu Chen. Bastard, said Emperor Qi at that moment. Then he descended from the sky. Why do you insult my disciples? They just came to exchange their views on cultivation, said Emperor Yu. He also appeared after Emperor Qi showed up. Do you think you're in Tianlong Divine Castle's territory or what? Asked Emperor Qi in a cold way. The situation was similar to before, but things were less brutal and violent so far. Tiantai didn't greet Tianlong Divine Castle's people when they had arrived, they just started killing them immediately. You and Emperor Tianlong attacked my small world together, so there's no difference between the Qi clan and Tianlong Divine Castle, said Emperor Yu, who was smiling coldly. However, Emperor Dong appeared next to Emperor Qi at that moment and looked at Emperor Yu in a cold way. However, after Emperor Dong appeared, a terrifying strength surrounded his body. He was incredulous and instantly recognized that another extremely strong cultivator was there. He knew who it was, so it was useless to say it. Emperor Wen, surprisingly, you dare attack the Qi clan, said Emperor Dong. Another emperor had appeared next to Emperor Dong. It was the medium-level emperor from the Si Kong clan. He was terrifyingly strong. He. Emperor Wen appeared next to Emperor Yu and smiled. However, they were facing 2 medium-level emperors. I'm late, said someone at that moment. Then an old man appeared in the sky. He looked like an illusion, even to the emperors. When Emperor Dong, Emperor Qi and the others saw him, they were aghast. He wasn't dead yet. What are you doing here? Said Emperor Dong, still smiling. That was the old emperor from the celestial land of immortals. Surprisingly, Emperor Yu had invited him. I heard that Tiantai and the Qi clan had some tensions, so I came to solve that problem, said the old man. He was still hiding in the clouds though. How do you want to solve the issue? Asked Emperor Dong indifferently. I heard that Emperor Qi attacked Tiantai's small world, and that there are tensions between Tiantai and the Qi clan, so I thought our younger disciples could also participate and fight, said the old man smiling. Emperor Dong just groaned coldly. So many emperors. Even the old man from the celestial palace of the immortals is here. Tiantai has a lot of influence. Thought the crowd, shivering. Tiantai was gambling. Emperor Tianlong couldn't appear anymore and Emperor Si Kong was dead, so the Qi clan's alliance was losing influence. You're threatening the Qi clan, said someone at that moment. It was Emperor Dan. What the hell is going on? People's hearts were pounding. The Qi clan attacked Emperor Yu's small world, but Tiantai can't do the same. Don't forget that Tiantai only has 12 disciples while the Qi clan is a clan, they have countless disciples, said Emperor Devamara appearing. Emperor Qi's face gradually changed. How many emperors had Emperor Yu called? Emperors can't get involved in young people's fights. Emperors can only fight each other, said someone at that moment. This time it was the Great Ape Emperor. He was holding a gigantic wooden stick. The mountain of flowers and fruit were supporting Tiantai. Chapter 1506, Explosive Attacks. The Qi clan was under a lot of pressure from all those emperors. "You're here," said Emperor Yu, nodding at the old emperor of the celestial palace of the immortals. He then said to everybody, "Back then, Emperor Tianlong and Emperor Qi joined hands to attack my small world. 3 powerful groups attacked Tianjing city, so I had to make my people disperse. Everybody already knows about that. We must solve that issue, so I invited some emperors to come. I also invited the old immortal emperor to come to supervise. Today, Tiantai will fight against the Qi clan," said Emperor Yu calmly. He looked at the 12 disciples and said, "My disciples are here, and they will fight, whether the Qi clan accepts or not." Everybody shivered. "Old Emperor, Great Ape Emperor, the tensions between the Qi clan and Tiantai have nothing to do with the celestial palace of the immortals and the mountain of flowers and fruit, right?" "Why come?" said Emperor Dong, ignoring Emperor Yu. They had never fought for or against Tiantai and the Qi clan. What were they doing there? "Emperor Yu is my good friend," said the Great Ape Emperor happily. Emperor Dong was astonished and looked at the old emperor. "People know that I will die soon, and ever since people learnt about that, the Qi clan has attacked the celestial palace of the immortals a few times. There's no need to talk about that. Besides, the Qi clan oppressed Tiantai, that's a fact. The Qi clan is not the only group which can attack other people. As far as the tensions between Tiantai and the Qi clan are concerned, I won't get involved if the other emperors don't get involved," said the old emperor clearly. "Since it's that way, I don't have anything more to say then," said Emperor Dong. He looked at Lin Feng and the others in a sharp way. "Since you think you can do what you wish in the Qi clan's territory, come. So if you don't reply, it means that you don't accept and that you want a chaotic battle," asked Emperor Yu mockingly. "Does the Qi clan fear my disciples?" Empty words. A group of people appeared on the Qi clan's side. They were young like the cultivators of Tiantai, their Qi was extraordinary, and they looked mysterious. "It's them," thought Lin Feng. There were 9 people, those he had just seen in the tea house in Shuri City. They were actually from the Holy City. "We were just talking about how strong cultivators from Tiantai are." "What a coincidence," said Chiyuchen smiling. The young men from the Holy City looked excited. They wanted to fight. They had come to that world to fight, and now they were facing geniuses. "All those who have nothing to do with Tiantai or the Qi clan, move aside," said Mu Qin, glancing at the crowd. What were those people from the Holy City doing there? It would be difficult for Tiantai's disciples to fight if those people were involved. "You already determined the rules. I represent the Qi clan. If my friends want to fight, they can," said Chiyuchen. He knew those people really wanted to fight. They would love to fight against those people from Tiantai. "I really want to see how strong cultivators from Tiantai are," said Xiao Qifeng. Mu Qin remained calm and said, "Since it's that way, let's fight." The 9 young men from the Holy City rose up in the air, readying to fight. Emperor Dong smiled and said, "9 people, they can fight against your 11 disciples," said Emperor Dong. He already excluded Mu Qin because Mu Qin's strength was unfathomable. "Wait," said someone. People turned around and looked at Lin Feng. Lin Feng took a step forwards. He was looking at Zhou Tianroa as he said, "Zhou Tianroa, we fought not so long ago, and it was a draw. Then you said you could easily kill me if you used your full strength, is that right?" Zhou Tianroa looked at Lin Feng in a cold way. He was petrified. He had only said that because Xiao Qifeng thought he was a weakling. He hadn't thought that Lin Feng would hear him. Many people who were in the tea house looked excited. Zhou Tianroa had been very clear about how easily he could kill Lin Feng. "Come here and fight," shouted Lin Feng as he suddenly threw himself at Zhou Tianruo. "Fight!" Zhou Tianruo couldn't dodge and he had no excuses. "Brother Zhou, he's saying you're arrogant, so just go and kill him," said Xiao Qi Feng when he saw that Zhou Tianruo was hesitating. Zhou Tianruo released gold holy qi and it formed into a dazzling armor. Lin Feng smiled devilishly. Zhou Tianruo dazzled at that moment, but he had already lost against Lin Feng. His most powerful attack couldn't even break Lin Feng's sword. How could he win now? Energies rolled in waves in the sky before turning into a sword. It wasn't dazzling, it looked rather plain. Dong! Lin Feng jumped forwards. The crowd shivered. Even people in the distance could sense how badly that sword smelt like death. Lin Feng suddenly turned into a shadow and flew forwards. Gotcha! The ground crackled. Lin Feng's sword, which looked like a dark mountain, descended from the sky. Very quickly, lights appeared and their attacks collided. Then, the golden lights faded. Fissures, the crowd was amazed because Lin Feng's attack created fissures in the sky. Arg! Zhou Tianruo shouted furiously, but he was propelled to the ground with some more rumbling sounds. He was sitting there, on his knees, he was bleeding, his golden body was broken, and Lin Feng was just standing in the air, looking down at him in a despising way. Chapter 1507, Can't Withstand a Single Attack. Zhou Tianruo crawled on the ground, his body was soaked in his own blood. Zhou Tianruo and Lin Feng had a draw in the Celestial Walls manner, questioned some people. Everybody had their doubts now because they knew how strong Lin Feng. They had thought that at most, it could be a draw, but apparently, they had underestimated Lin Feng, as Zhou Tianruo was crawling before their eyes. Some people looked amused. Was that what he meant by killing Lin Feng in one punch? Zhou Tianruo was ridiculous. Had he used his full strength? Probably not. Lin Feng keeps becoming stronger and more aggressive, thought the crowd. I thought you could kill me easily. Lin Feng was mocking Zhou Tianruo in a disdainful way. Zhou Tianruo felt humiliated. Gold holy qi began rolling in waves again. Kaboom! In a flash, a terrifying strength descended from the sky. The ground crackled and half of Zhou Tianruo's body was dug into the ground. At the same time, Lin Feng ran towards him using the same sword attack he had just used. Lin Feng's strength oppressed him. Craters formed and the ground shook. Zhou Tianruo bled even more. Boom! Zhou Tianruo punched the ground with his golden fist and dug into it. Lin Feng smiled coldly. He descended from the sky, a gigantic hand fell on Zhou Tianruo. Lin Feng was using earth abstruse energy. Humph! Lin Feng smiled in a cold way and ran forwards. It was as if his legs weighed thousands of kilos on the ground. The landscape changed drastically around him as the ground continued to quake. As he was falling deeper into the ground, his facial expression suddenly changed. He continued releasing gold holy qi, using all the energies he could. Lin Feng's sword crashed onto his body and propelled him away 1,000 meters. His golden armor was completely broken, and even more blood spilt. Zhou Tianruo's internal organs were injured, and he was shaking violently. Not bad, thought Lin Feng. An ordinary cultivator of the 9th Zun Qi layer would have died already, but Zhou Tianruo's golden armor was strong. Lin Feng knew that if he saw cosmic energy and an imperial weapon, it'd mean that Zhou Tianruo was about to die. The crowd was awestruck. Lin Feng jumped forwards and landed in front Zhou Tianruo. Zhou Tianruo shouted in a cold way, "If you don't kill me, I'll kill you." Zhou Tianruo threw himself at Lin Feng again. Boom! Lin Feng hit Zhou Tianruo with his sword and made him fly away again. Zhou Tianruo fell down from the sky and hit the ground with another thud. Die, shouted Zhou Tianruo. He was going insane as his golden qi continued rolling in waves and surrounded his body. You're only humiliating yourself, said Lin Feng when he saw Zhou Tianruo's ferocious facial expression. He turned around and walked towards the group from Tiantai. He completely ignored Zhou Tianruo. Lin Feng knew that Zhou Tianruo wanted Lin Feng to kill him. Zhou Tianruo had a precious treasure with cosmic energies, so if Lin Feng infuriated him, his weapon would release energies. Lin Feng wasn't going to give him such an opportunity though. Lin Feng's cultivation level was low, but because he understood abstruse energies and force really well, his strength was already incredible. In the Ba Huang province, in a small world, surprisingly, there's a genius like him, thought those young men surprised. If he had grown up in their homeland, he would have been even stronger. Who had taught him how to mix abstruse energies? If he had learnt those things on his own, then he was a real genius. Lin Feng went back to his friends and glanced at the young men from the holy city, in particular Qiao Qi Feng, and said, "A short time ago, I heard you say that you could easily kill Kong Ming and I. How about we test that?" The young men from the holy city were surprised again. After humiliating Zhou Tianruo, Lin Feng surprisingly dared challenge Qiao Qi Feng. Qiao Qi Feng had said that indeed, many people had heard him. Tiantai's people said nothing. The disciples of Tiantai were all monstrously strong cultivators. However, many of them still had a low cultivation level, and they needed to fight to get stronger. Lin Feng was one of them. He relied on his own strength to become stronger. Concerning Lin Feng, he didn't want to humiliate his opponent, he just wanted to fight against some strong cultivators to become stronger. He had had the strength of the 6th Zun Qi layer for too long in his opinion. Chapter 1508, Magnificent Collisions. Qiao Qi Feng looked at Lin Feng and walked towards him. He had no reason not to fight against Lin Feng. At that moment, Qiao Qi Feng didn't look conceited at all anymore. Lin Feng looked at Qiao Qi Feng, he remained calm and relaxed. Nobody could influence his emotions. He looked unfathomable and enigmatic. Lin Feng stretched out his hand and condensed demonic and immortal energies. He was preparing for a difficult fight. When Qiao Qi Feng sensed Lin Feng's energies condensing, he also condensed energies in his fists. His fist became larger, even larger than his own body. His energies were scorching hot and ice-cold at the same time. That fist looked scary, thought the crowd. Lin Feng and Qiao Qi Feng's fists were both filled with terrifying energies. Die! Lin Feng moved forwards and raised his right fist, which emitted strident whistling sounds and dim lights. There were trails of black energies left behind his fist as he moved ahead. Qiao Qi Feng condensed energies in his fist and attacked as well. Their fists collided, and white dazzling lights lit up the sky. However, the ice-cold fist continued moving towards Lin Feng. A ferocious ice dragon seemed to be forming. Lin Feng condensed energies in his left fist, and he used his deadly demon punch again. Lin Feng raised his fist, while Qiao Qi Feng continued running towards him. His fist looked like an ice dragon which wanted to swallow everything. Lin Feng knew that if that fist reached him, he'd die. Bzzz. Lin Feng released wind and empty space energies as he descended from the sky. At the same time, he released sword energy. Thunderous lights appeared in Lin Feng's hands as well as demon fire. Then, he released desolate and destructive qi as well as immortal energy. That sword was demonically terrifying. Explosions sounded, and then an ocean of fire filled the sky. Godly dual fist attack. Qiao Qi Feng looked serious as a spirit condensed behind him. Die! Qiao Qi Feng was chanting a mantra as more spiritual fists appeared. That fist attack is extremely powerful, it's as if 1,000,000 fists were attacking at the same time, thought the crowd. Lin Feng was surrounded by those fists. He had the impression that he was going to die. Boom boom, he released demonic energies and a demon silhouette appeared behind him. He rarely used his demon skills and techniques those days because his abstruse energies allowed him to be a lot more flexible given his cultivation level. Lin Feng remained calm even though he was facing such terrifying energies. He knew that if he panicked, the consequences would be tragic. His eyes turned pitch black, and everything became darkness in his brain. Demonic lights streaked across the sky as Lin Feng ran forwards. If he made even the slightest mistake, he'd be riddled with gaping wounds. Lin Feng turned into a sharp sword and he condensed earthen energies in his body too. He tried to condense as many energies as he could at that moment. Slash, slash, Lin Feng destroyed some of the fists, but he didn't stop. The sky trembled as Lin Feng continued moving towards Qiao Qi Feng without hesitation, breaking fist after fist. Qiao Qi Feng was stupefied. Lin Feng looked like a madman as he flew forwards. Bzzz. Lin Feng suddenly stopped as his sword descended from the sky towards those fists. They have a similar strength, thought some people. Suddenly, Lin Feng disappeared and reappeared again in the sky above Qiao Qi Feng. Die, shouted Lin Feng furiously. The sound waves created by his voice rolled in waves. Then, Qiao Qi Feng raised his head and looked into Lin Feng's pitch-black eyes. He sensed death abstruse energy quickly surround his body. You'll lose, shouted Lin Feng furiously. His voice resonated in Qiao Qi Feng's brain and turned into demon-cursing energies. Qiao Qi Feng thought that his brain was going to explode. He didn't know how strong Lin Feng really was and he didn't know that Lin Feng was a demonic cultivator. Lin Feng was using his full strength as he appeared in the sky above Qiao Qi Feng and his sword descended towards Qiao Qi Feng's head. The hearts of the young people from the holy city were pounding. If Lin Feng was strong enough to kill Qiao Qi Feng, then he could kill them too. Oh. Chapter 1509, The Qi Clan Situation. Qiao Qi Feng's spiritual fists circled around him before turning into a dazzling, singular fist. Slash. Lin Feng's arm turned into a sword and he performed a knife hand strike towards Qiao Qi Feng. Piss off. Qiao Qi Feng jumped forwards and released a myriad of fists again. But while he was condensing them, that sword arrived and dispersed all his energies. Then, Qiao Qi Feng started running away. That sword was terrifying. After Lin Feng saw that Qiao Qi Feng was trying to escape, he released even more demonic energies. He shook his hand and sword energies moved towards Qiao Qi Feng again. Qiao Qi Feng couldn't condense energies fast enough. He released another fist, but it exploded, and his blood splashed. Sword lights had pierced through his body, and he was propelled away. He had almost died. Qiao Qi Feng was soaked in his own blood and a cold sweat. When he saw that he was injured, his face turned deathly pale. He was fixedly staring at Lin Feng in the distance. What kind of energies did Lin Feng use? Each of his attacks were terrifying. A person's talent had limits. If someone old had known and controlled so many kinds of energies, spells, techniques and skills, it wouldn't have been surprising, but Lin Feng was so young. His sword, demon, cursing, etc. energies were all terrifying. Lin Feng didn't chase Qiao Qi Feng. Those people seemed to have extraordinary social status, so they certainly had powerful objects which could protect their lives. Zhou Tian Ruo was an example with his hidden armor. Qiao Qi Feng was stronger than Zhou Tian Ruo, so he definitely had something powerful. His silhouette flickered and he went back to his friends. Then he said, "Today, the people from the Qi clan and Tiantai want to fight. If you want to fight against us, we can agree on a date and we will meet again. My fellow disciples and I would be happy too." Lin Feng had already defeated 2 people, but some of the others were probably stronger than Qiao Qi Feng, like Gu Li. His strength was unfathomable. If Tiantai decided to have a group fight against those young men from the holy city, maybe they'd win, but they'd certainly lose a few people. Lin Feng didn't want to lose anyone. "Alright, we will," said Xia Tianfan nodding. He was excited and really wanted to fight against Lin Feng, but he respected his choice. He was happy to watch the battles between the Qi clan and Tiantai too. "I'm off," the two young men from the holy city left. They hadn't defeated Lin Feng, so they didn't need to continue losing face by staying there. "I still don't want to fight," said the nice-looking young man while smiling. Gu Li looked at Lin Feng, seemingly amused. At Qi Yan's wedding ceremony, he had looked at Lin Feng in a disdainful way even though he had defeated a cultivator of the 9th Zun Qi layer. He used to think he could easily defeat Lin Feng, but now he had seen Lin Feng's real strength and he was surprised. Very quickly, Lin Feng rose up in the air and looked at Qi Yuchen. He had brought those people to the Qi clan, but at that moment, those people weren't giving him any face as they ran away. Qi Yuchen felt uncomfortable. He didn't want to fight all those people alone. Even if he was confident in his strength, he couldn't defeat so many strong cultivators. Lin Feng looked at Qi Yuchen and took a step forward. His name was Qi and he had brought people to the Qi clan. The Qi clan was a lot larger than Lin Feng had previously thought apparently. "Forget it," thought Qi Yuchen before he moved aside. He didn't want to get involved. Emperor Dong and Emperor Qi could solve the situation themselves. Lin Feng smiled indifferently. Then he looked at Qi Qian Xing in a provocative way. Now that those people from the holy city had left, who could fight? Emperor Qi and Qi Qian Xing both looked distraught. "Qi Qian Xing, is the Qi clan done selecting their fighters? If nobody else wants to fight, I'll consider that you don't want to fight and then Tiantai will attack everyone," said Mu Chen indifferently. "Emperor you brought people from Tiantai here, do you want to show everyone how unruly you are?" said Emperor Dan. Emperor Yu glanced at him and said, "Emperor Qi, Emperor Tianlong and Emperor Si Kong attacked my small world together at the same time without any warning, don't you think you're being ridiculous?" Emperor Dan's mouth twitched. He didn't know what to say. All the emperors were there, his face even turned pale. If they were all stronger, they could have dealt with this differently. "Besides, Emperor Dan, are you trying to humiliate the Qi clan?" "We only have 12 disciples," said Emperor Yu smiling thinly. Emperor Dan was speechless. Tiantai's 12 disciples could defeat all the disciples of the Qi clan. Mu Chen, give them some time. If they don't select any fighter, then we'll go and attack the outstanding and heroic fighters of the Qi clan. Remember the rules, you can't kill people who have a strength inferior to the Tian Qi layer, said Emperor Yu indifferently. The crowd was aghast. If all the cultivators who had a strength superior to the Tian Qi layer died, then the Qi clan would have nobody left. "Old Emperor, are you sure you want to get involved?" asked Emperor Dong to the old Emperor of the Celestial Palace of the Immortals. If the old Emperor of the Celestial Palace of the Immortals didn't participate, it would change a lot of things. "If emperors get involved, I'll fight too," repeated the old Emperor. Chapter 15:10 Violence. The Qi clan's territory was suddenly invaded by an eerie silence. Emperor Dong, Emperor Qi and the others all looked at Emperor Yu. In the distance, the crowd could sense the pressure. They knew that silence was ominous. Time passed quickly. Mu Chen raised his hand and smiled indifferently, "It's time. It seems like the Qi clan hasn't made a decision yet, so we're going to fight against everyone in the Qi clan." "Go," said Mu Chen to Lin Feng and the others. In a flash, they all started running in every direction. The members of the Qi clan were not going to sit and wait for death, of course. Everyone started fighting. A gigantic picture scroll appeared and blotted out the sky. A light appeared which surrounded Lin Feng and the other disciples from Tiantai. Mu Chen followed them and said, 3 people per group. If you see that someone is in danger, help them. Disperse now. Everybody dispersed. Lin Feng and Wuxia stayed together. Without Mu Chen, there were only 11 disciples in Tiantai, so there had to be a group of 2. Lin Feng and Ruo Xie were a good team, so they didn't mind being the only group of 2. Lin Feng glanced around and looked at one young man in particular. "I'll go and kill him," said Lin Feng. That young man was Qi Zong, someone who was rising. Lin Feng had seen him a year before in a bar. Qi Zong wasn't ready for Lin Feng to choose him directly. He started running away. Curse! Death energy surrounded Qi Zong, causing his body to turn gray. He was very fast, he crossed thousands of meters in a flash, but Lin Feng was faster. "Qi Zong," shouted Qi Qianxing at that moment. Qi Qianxing released empty space energies, but Mu Chen turned around and looked at him in a cold way. "No!" A horrible shriek pierced Qi Qianxing's ears. He couldn't see Qi Zong anymore. Qi Zong had turned to ashes. Lin Feng was taking Qi Zhang's treasures at that moment. Lin Feng sensed that Qi Qianxing was looking at him, so he released sword energies and killed someone else. "Kill him!" shouted Qi Qianxing loudly, so that everybody could hear him in the territory of the Qi clan. In a flash, the empty space picture scroll dazzled, and a light descended from the sky. Just like last time, Lin Feng was stuck inside. "Don't waste time. Even if your picture scroll can constrict me, nobody can kill me in the Qi clan," shouted Lin Feng in a disdainful way. Tiantai's disciples had already started slaughtering mass amounts of people. Emperor Qi and the others were furious after they saw that. Bzzz. Lin Feng was imprisoned in the light when suddenly, some Qi rose and surrounded him. Some people apparently wanted to kill Lin Feng. "What a bad attack, it seems that the Qi clan doesn't have any strong cultivators left," said Lin Feng. He took out his gigantic axe and slashed it forwards. Slash! A silhouette was cut in two and blood gushed. However, more sword lights moved towards Lin Feng. Boom boom. Lin Feng used his axe again, and he rose up in the air as he looked down at the sword lights. Lin Feng unsheathed his Tianji sword. At the same time, a demon shouted furiously as a demonic shadow appeared behind Lin Feng. Lin Feng also used his deadly demon punch, condensing energies in both his fists. Die, die, 2 people immediately died, but there were still more cultivators running towards him. Lin Feng shook his hand and a mountain fell on them. He also released demon, sword and death energies. Boom boom. At the same time, the terrifying empty space energy was also being bombarded by Tian Qi, Ruo Xie and the others. Lin Feng eventually was injured, but there were numerous corpses below him. He touched his wounds and released life energies to heal himself. Tian Qi, Ruo Xie and the others had already broken the empty space and killed the remaining cultivators from the Qi clan. Bzzz. Lin Feng jumped forwards and, in a flash, someone else died. At the same time, his Tianji sword streaked across the sky and moved towards the depths of the territory of the Qi clan, continuing to kill people. Emperor Qi and Qi Qianxing looked distraught. Even their best cultivators died after facing Tiantai's disciples. A short time had passed, and there were even more corpses everywhere. It was a bloodbath. "Father," shouted Emperor Qi. Emperor Dong looked calm and serene though. Nobody knew what he was thinking. Emperor Dong glanced around, he was looking for some other people. The Watchers had to be there too, right? Tiantai had brought the Watchers to Tianlong Divine Castle before. "Emperor you don't want to fuck with me," said Emperor Dong suddenly. He looked furious this time. Emperor Dong was talking to Emperor Yu using telepathy, but Emperor Yu just frowned. Chapter 1511, The Emperor's Intervention. By inviting all the emperors, Emperor Yu's goal was to put the Qi clan in a dead end, where the Qi clan couldn't run away anymore. "Today, you came to kill my people, what else did you prepare for all this?" Emperor Dong was glaring at Emperor Yu. He wanted to know why he looked so calm and serene. Tiantai's disciples were in the middle of the Qi clan's territory killing people. Strong cultivators kept falling from the sky. Emperor Dong suddenly turned around and a terrifying empty space energy filled the sky. He suddenly disappeared and reappeared again, 500 meters away in the air above the Qi clan's governmental buildings. He glanced at Tiantai's disciples in a sharp way and suddenly, Tiantai's disciples all felt like they were going to suffocate. Lin Feng realized that he couldn't move anymore. The empty space cosmic strength had created a cage, and had imprisoned him inside. Emperor Dong. A terrifying cosmic energy surrounded Emperor Dong. Emperor Yu and the others were now staring at Emperor Dong. Emperor Dong, think carefully before you do anything. If you attack, we'll destroy the Qi clan completely, said Emperor Yu in a cold way. Emperor Dong seemed like he was going insane as he said, "You either piss off or you'll die here," said Emperor Dong to all the members of Tiantai. Lin Feng had the impression he was going to die, as if a hand had grabbed his throat. "Alright, we're leaving," said Emperor Yu. Lin Feng and the others were surprised. "Leaving? Are you sure?" asked Emperor Dong, rather surprised. "Certainly. Let them off and we'll leave," said Emperor Yu. "Alright, piss off now," said Emperor Dong. He shook his hands and threw Lin Feng and the others away. Even if he didn't attack Lin Feng and the others directly, his cosmic energies were still terrifying. He threw them all hundreds of meters away. Bzzz. A silhouette descended from the sky and landed in front of Emperor Dong. He instantly released terrifying cosmic energies and confined Emperor Dong in a cage. "How does it feel?" asked Emperor Wen's father. Emperor Wen's father was also a medium-level emperor. He had already fought against a medium-level emperor during the banquet in the Qi Empire, but back then that medium-level emperor was a member of the Imperial Assassin Union. This time, it was the leader of the Qi Empire, Emperor Dong. "What are you doing, buddy?" asked Emperor Dong in a calm and serene way. Emperor Wen's father smiled in a deep and meaningful way and said, "Emperor Yu, can we attack?" "Alright," said Emperor Yu nodding. He raised his hands and two gigantic hands appeared in the sky. He condensed cosmic energies at an incredible speed. Terrifying oceans of cosmic energies appeared in the sky above the Qi clan's territory, blotting out the sky. "What are you doing?" shouted Emperor Dong furiously and loudly. "From now on, we'll kill anyone related to the Qi clan, in Jiu Yu and Ba Huang," shouted Emperor Yu furiously. His voice spread far, far away in the surroundings. That sentence made many people shake violently. Emperor Yu dared say that? Boom boom boom, the ground shook violently as terrifying mountains descended from the sky above the Qi clan's territory. Emperor Dong, Emperor Qi and Qi Qianxing were petrified. They couldn't believe their eyes. Emperor Yu was attacking them directly. Meteorites continuously fell from the sky above the territory of the Qi clan. The territory of the Qi clan was starting to break apart, and people were getting crushed to mush. Emperor Yu was forcing the Qi clan to fight, they had no choice. Emperor Yu's strength was terrifying. Many people died instantly when he attacked. "Emperor Yu," shouted Emperor Qi furiously. The Qi clan was the most precious thing he had in life. Many of the members of the Qi clan were even his biological children. Emperor Qi finally decided to act. He disappeared from where he was standing, using empty space energy, and appeared in front of Emperor Yu. A golden light then aimed for Emperor Yu. Emperor Yu was already prepared, he shook his hand and condensed stone energy to block the golden light. The golden light lacerated the stone energy and turned into a strong wind. It was becoming more and more terrifying as it shot it forwards. Gotcha! Emperor Yu turned to stone himself. Suddenly, Emperor Qi's arms also gradually turned into stone. But Emperor Qi's golden light turned into a vortex and absorbed everything in its way, breaking apart Emperor Yu's stone armor slowly. However, nobody was worried about Emperor Yu's safety. Many people were flying towards Emperor Qi at full speed, the fastest one being Emperor Wen. Emperor Wen also controlled empty space abstruse energy. He immediately appeared behind Emperor Qi and punched the air in his direction. He didn't use any special powers, he just used pure cosmic energy to attack because it would have taken too long to condense any other strength. Slash. The stone energies which had surrounded Emperor Qi disappeared and Emperor Wen's fist crashed onto Emperor Qi's body, cosmic energies spreading throughout his body. Ah! Emperor Qi gave a horrible shriek. He then released cosmic energy which turned into another vortex. Emperor Wen suddenly moved back as above Emperor Qi, Emperor Devamara appeared and a gigantic demon hand descended. Fissures appeared in the sky. Emperor Qi's hair was fluttering in the wind, he was bleeding from his mouth. A moment before, he looked elegant, confident and at ease, but now he looked ferocious, furious and hideous. What a pity, whispered Emperor Wen. Surprisingly, he hadn't managed to kill Emperor Qi. Emperor Yu, are you trying to provoke the whole province of Ba Huang? Said Emperor Dong. You still want to hide? Said Emperor Yu smiling coldly. In the Qi Empire, during the banquet, we were poisoned and the Imperial Assassin Union attacked. Do you think people are stupid, Emperor Dong? My son, Qi Yan, died, said Emperor Dong coldly. That was because a watcher was hiding amongst the Imperial Assassin Union. Don't pretend you didn't know that. This time, Emperor Yu didn't say anything, but the watcher's father had. You're falsely accusing people. Besides, maybe you poisoned people. Because you made an alliance with Emperor Yu, you accuse us of having an alliance with the Imperial Assassin Union, replied Emperor Dong. Emperor Dong, you can't deny it. Tianlong had an alliance with the Imperial Assassin Union. Do you need to see Emperor Tianlong for him to tell you that? Said the watcher's father hoarsely. Chapter 1512, The Limits of the World. Emperor Dong looked at the watcher's father, he was wondering who he really was. Did the watcher's father really know the truth or was he bluffing? Humph, the watcher's father smirked. Then he said, did you think hiding in an empty space battlefield was useful? I don't even need to fight myself, said the watcher's father. Emperor Dong looked petrified. The watcher's father hadn't fooled him, he knew about it all. Boom boom, the ground broke apart. At the same time, a few people emerged from the ground. Emperor Tianlong, the crowd saw Emperor Tianlong emerge. The watcher's father is right. Emperor Tianlong is hiding inside the Qi clan, which means that the Qi clan are also members of the Imperial Assassin Union. In the ruins, Emperor Tianlong appeared and a few assassins in black clothes. There were also other emperors, the Six Desires Empress, the Assassin Emperor, the Celestial Thunder Temple's Emperor and the Fairyland of the Nine Songs Emperor. Who invited them? The Watcher's father or Emperor Yu, thought the crowd. That battle was no longer about Tiantai and the Qi clan, it was about Ba Huang and the Imperial Assassin Union. Were you waiting for him in the empty space battlefield? Asked Emperor Dong. His voice carried threads of golden energies. He glanced at the four emperors. Emperor Dong had informed Emperor Tianlong who was hiding in the empty space about the situation and told him to leave. However, the ground exploded, and all the strong cultivators appeared. Luckily, I was prepared, so even if you told him to leave, I'd catch you, said the watcher's father. You must have left something on his body last time when you were in Tianlong Divine Castle, said Emperor Dong. He was full of doubt. Could the watcher's father gather all the emperors of Ba Huang together like that? Emperor Tianlong remembered back to his battle against the watcher's father. Had the watcher's father left a memory on his body? How could he have done that silently and intangibly? Wouldn't he have found out about it by now? It's not important. What's important now is that I am sure that the Qi clan and the Si Kong clan are the leaders of the Imperial Assassin Union. Then, Emperor Tianlong and Emperor Dan decided to join them. Am I right, everyone? Asked the watcher's father. Emperor Dan, you poisoned everyone. If you hadn't helped, then emperors wouldn't have died, said the great ape emperor extremely loudly. Emperor Dan's mouth twitched, but then he controlled himself and said indifferently, the disciples from the celestial land of alchemists didn't know that I had participated. We will go to the celestial land of alchemists and make everyone disperse, said the assassin emperor. Emperor Dan shivered and glanced at the assassin emperor, but then he sighed. The people from the Si Kong clan didn't know either, said the emperor of the Si Kong clan. Humph, the old emperor groaned coldly and said, the Si Kong clan and the Qi clan are the same, they're both core members of the Imperial Assassin Union. The emperor from the Si Kong clan looked at the old emperor using his celestial vision and said, do you want to fight? Do you know who the old emperor is? Asked the Watcher's father. The emperor of the Si Kong clan frowned and said, who? The crowd was surprised. Did the old emperor have another social status? The Watcher's father grinned as he talked to the emperor of the Si Kong clan using telepathy. The emperor of the Si Kong clan suddenly looked astonished. He suddenly stopped using his celestial vision, but it was useless. They were not going to let the Si Kong clan off anyways. Old emperor, you're really going to die, said the emperor of the Si Kong clan, smiling in a cold way. Then, he started running away. Bzzz. He used his celestial vision, and the space around him became distorted. A curtain of energies enveloped him and then a vortex. The emperor of the Si Kong clan ran towards that vortex. The Si Kong clan would probably become a target now, so he had to leave. Suddenly, a black, fiery vortex appeared and surrounded the emperor of the Si Kong clan. Piss off, shouted the emperor of the Si Kong clan using his celestial vision again. The space became distorted again and the flames moved aside. However, two demonic eyes appeared from within the vortex, forcing him back. The emperor of the Si Kong clan used his hands to cover his eyes, which felt extremely sore. Then he yelled at the one in the vortex, who the hell are you? Come out. Another emperor, the crowd was awestruck. Who else could be there? The emperor of the Si Kong clan was a medium-level emperor, but surprisingly, someone had hurt him. Your son was killed at the banquet in the Qi Empire, the Watchers killed him if you remember. Don't you want to avenge him? Why do you want to leave? Asked the Watcher's father hoarsely. Those words hurt him deep down. He hadn't been able to save Emperor Si Kong. Brother, are we really leaving? Asked Wuxia to Mu Chen. We're in a hurry. Do you not feel like leaving? Asked Mu Chen to Wuxia, smiling indifferently. They were still flying in Shuri's direction though. The sun was shining upon them, and it felt warm. Lin Feng had the sensation that the sun was getting closer and closer. He knew that he would leave that small world sooner or later, but it was so sudden now. They were rising higher and higher up, just like the day when Yen Di had emerged from the small world. The energies were beautiful. Lin Feng turned around once. This time, he knew that they were going to leave the small world for real. They were going to go to the real world. Mu Chen glanced at everyone. Mu Chen's force was already multiplied by 1,000, so Lin Feng was wondering why Mu Chen still hadn't broken through to the Huangqi layer. Finally, a sunny castle appeared, and it was scorching hot. Mu Chen protected them. Feng Xian and some of the other weaker cultivators would have died otherwise. Chapter 15:13, Two Emperors Fall. Let's go inside, said Mu Chen, bringing everyone into the ancient castle. Is that sun the path to the holy city? Thought Lin Feng and the others. There was a statue which looked like a statue of the messenger. It even looked alive. Your Highness the Messenger, shouted Mu Chen to the statue. His voice echoed against the castle walls. Suddenly, the statue moved. Mu Chen was waiting for something to happen. A short time after, some lights dazzled. The messenger's statue became bright as some vitality appeared inside it. After it finished moving, the dazzling lights faded away. Your Highness the Messenger. Mu Chen bowed before the messenger. They wanted to go to the holy city, so they had to give him face and act polite. "What do you want?" asked the statue. Lin Feng and the others were unhappy by his demeanor. Since they were there, what else could they want? "Your Highness the Messenger, we came with fate seeds, we want to go to the holy city. Can you let us pass, please?" asked Mu Chen. He didn't show how displeased he was. "I don't have time today." "Another day," said the messenger firmly. "Your Highness the Messenger, we're in a hurry." "Please let us pass," said Mu Chen calmly. "I told you to come back another day," said the messenger in a cold way. Everybody was astonished, even furious. "Your Highness the Messenger, you're the protector of that corridor, you must stay responsible," said Mu Chen. Then, someone suddenly appeared in front of him. It was the messenger himself. The messenger released a cold chi. "I don't have time today, so piss off." A strong wind brushed against everybody's bodies as they were pushed backwards. A terrifying strength oppressed them, but Mu Chen used force to protect his friends. The messenger just smiled indifferently and said, "Next time you come, watch your words." Then, he went back into the statue of himself and his chi disappeared. No time, the crowd was astonished. How was that possible? Mu Chen had been very polite until the messenger refused. "Brother," shouted Lin Feng. "I'm all right," said Mu Chen to Lin Feng. Mu Chen looked calm and serene again. Then he said to the crowd, "Let's go back." Mu Chen released more force to protect everybody as they left the castle. The Qi clan's territory was already wrecked and there were ruins of buildings and trees everywhere. Emperor Dong, the emperor of the Si Kong clan, Emperor Wen's father and the old emperor of the celestial palace of the immortals had finished their great war and were gone already. Emperor Qi was the fastest one with his empty space energy, so once Emperor Dong and the others were fighting, he had started escaping. Emperor Tianlong turned into a dragon. Although he looked strong and powerful, he was already soaked with blood. "Another emperor is going to fall today," thought the crowd who was still in the distance. The Watchers were fighting against the assassins of the Imperial Assassin Union. Emperor Dong and the 4 others were fighting in an empty space. The other emperors were taking care of Emperor Tianlong and Emperor Dan. Trying to kill all the emperors at once wasn't the best solution, it was more difficult, and it gave them more chances to escape. So that's why they were focusing on Emperors Tianlong and Dan. "Emperor Yan, let's go and kill him," said the great ape emperor to the Taoist monk, Yan Di. "Call me Yan Di," shouted Yan Di. The great ape emperor rolled his eyes and said, "All right, Yan Di, let's attack together. He won't be able to withstand our attacks if we do." Emperor Tianlong used a mysterious cosmic energy after turning into a dragon which made his defenses even more amazing. He was surrounded by Emperor Wen, the great ape emperor, Yan Di and Emperor Yu. Emperor Wen had sealed the space, so Emperor Tianlong couldn't escape. At least, the Assassin Emperor, the Six Desires Emperor, the Celestial Thunder Temple's Emperor and the others were fighting against Emperor Dan. Emperor Dan had mysterious attacks, including types of poisoning attacks. In front of such a powerful army, Emperor Dan and Emperor Tianlong couldn't do much. Bzzz, the great ape emperor started attacking with his gigantic wooden stick. Strength, gigantic destruction rod spell, sky destructive strength. Emperor Tianlong raised his head and shouted. Emperor Wen smiled coldly and said, "Emperor Yu." Slash, slash, the stick turned into very sharp blades which sufficed to make almost anyone suffocate. Emperor Tianlong started flying away, but the space suddenly shook and energies crashed onto his body, causing blood to splash. Emperor Tianlong gave a horrible shriek and started shaking convulsively. He was forced back into a human form again. Some more chi appeared above his head, and he released strength in his hand, but some marks appeared in front of him which turned into a black fire, which easily burnt his hand. Destroy, a finger crashed onto Emperor Tianlong's third eye. Then, his head started burning. Cosmic strength moved throughout Emperor Tianlong's body. The Taoist monk moved backwards, joined his hands together, and said, "You can proud to be killed by me." Emperor Tianlong didn't want to die. On the other side, the assassin emperor's sword pierced through Emperor Dan's head and cosmic energies dispersed. The two emperors died at the same time. Two more emperors died, thought the crowd. Lin Feng and the others came back just as Emperor Tianlong and Emperor Dan died. Chapter 1514, A Mysterious Assassin on the Road. "How come you're back?" asked the assassin emperor. There was also a disciple from the abyss of sufferings in their group. "The messenger hit us and made us leave. He said he had no time," said the assassin emperor's disciple. "No time?" The assassin emperor looked furious. He glanced at Mu Chen and the others as well as Emperor Yu. Many emperors looked at Emperor Yu and the Watcher's father. They trusted Emperor Yu even more. The Xikong clan's territory was wrecked. There were corpses everywhere. On top of that, some people were actively stealing the Xikong clan's treasures. When they saw the emperor land, they turned frightfully pale and started running away. Ba Huang. Boom! The area around the emperor of the Xikong clan suddenly darkened. While he was fighting against the emperors, some people had come and killed the Xikong clan's members. None were left. After Emperor Xikong died, since he wasn't there, nobody could protect the Xikong clan from such an onslaught. There were so many corpses on the ground and blood. Even though those people were extremely strong, it hurt more knowing that they had his blood. Those were his grandsons. But now, they were dead. "I'll kill you all," shouted the old emperor of the Xikong clan. Slash, 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 the old emperor of the Xikong clan killed some people out of anger. Those people dared steal the Xikong clan's treasures, they deserved to die. Those who weren't dead turned deathly pale and rose up in the air. They wanted to escape but they couldn't. The old emperor of the Xikong clan used his celestial vision and corpses fell from the sky. After killing everyone, the old emperor left. His face looked hideous and he was furious. Why had he made all his people go to that small world? Of course, he couldn't know that someone would destroy his clan. So many things had happened in the Ba Huang province in such a short amount of time. The Qi clan and the Xikong clan were part of the Imperial Assassin Union. Besides, Emperor Tianlong and Emperor Dan had joined them later and had died because of it. The Xikong clan was destroyed, all its people were killed. The celestial land of alchemists' emperor was dead, so its disciples dispersed. Many of their alchemy spells ended up in robbers' hands. Some evil cultivators had also kidnapped some of the very beautiful women as well. Because of Emperor Dan, the celestial land of alchemists was wiped off the map. In the eastern part of Ba Huang, in Shuri City, a young man was walking slowly through a crowd. He looked ordinary except that he had a black cloak on and his eyes were pitch black. So many people came to Ba Huang, thought Lin Feng. He had put on a mask and was surveying the ruins of the Qi clan. He looked around and saw that there were many young people, but their Qi was incredible. Lin Feng recognized some young people from the holy city, for example, Zhou Tianruo. He was next to a man who was wearing a golden robe. "Brother, when we go back, I will practice cultivation diligently and break through to the Huang Qi layer," said Zhou Tianruo confidently. His brother had heard that he was defeated by a cultivator of the 6th Zun Qi layer, which was a humiliation to their family. So now, his big brother wanted to teach him a lesson. "You understand that much, good. You shouldn't act arrogantly anymore. If you continue, Guli will get rid of you. When we go back, you should practice cultivation as you've said, and you shouldn't go abroad again," said the young man in the golden robe calmly. He knew that Zhou Tianruo needed time to break through to the Huang Qi layer. First, he had to reach the very top of the Zun Qi layer, he also needed to control cosmic energies and his force had to be 1,000 times stronger. Brother, I will practice as hard as I can, said Zhou Tianruo. He seemed to fear his brother. Zhou Tianshao nodded, then his eyes twinkled as he said, even though you can only blame yourself for what happened, who defeated you? What's his name? His name is Lin Feng, said Zhou Tianruo. If I have the opportunity, I will help you. Do you want to kill him? Or cripple his cultivation? Or just humiliate him? Asked Zhou Tianshao. Kill him, said Zhou Tianruo without hesitation. If he didn't have an imperial weapon, Lin Feng would have killed him. Therefore, he didn't want to be merciful. He wanted his brother to kill Lin Feng. Zhou Tianshao looked disappointed after he heard Zhou Tianruo. He had hoped that Zhou Tianruo would tell him he didn't need any help. He hoped Zhou Tianruo would fight against Lin Feng on his own in the future. But of course, even though he was disappointed, he nodded. He would help his brother. They didn't try to be discreet, Lin Feng even heard them in the distance. He seems strong, but I don't know how strong he is. Maybe he's a cultivator at the very top of the Zun Qi layer, thought Lin Feng. He slowly turned around and walked towards Shuri City. The Qi clan wasn't residing in Shuri City anymore, so more people were visiting now. We have to wait for Mu Chen's news. I wonder when he'll come to find me, thought Lin Feng. Since the messenger had kicked them out, leaving Ba Huang would be difficult. Even with fate seeds, he had refused to let them pass. Lin Feng was walking slowly, looking pensive. However, at that moment, he sensed energy surround him. Lin Feng was forced to stop because that strength was a force multiplied by 1,000. Who's that? Thought Lin Feng. His eyes turned black as he stared at a cultivator who was at the very top of the Zun Qi layer. Chapter 15:15. Lin Feng's strange experience. The energies surrounded him, but he had an empty space robe. Suddenly, he disappeared and reappeared again, 1,000 meters away. However, Lin Feng was surprised because even though he was far away, the energies still surrounded his body. At the same time, the energies were getting closer and closer. Lin Feng was wondering if it was the first or the second assassin. The strongest assassin he had met so far was the third one, but the first and second would certainly be strong as well. The energies were getting closer, and then a wind brushed against his body. Lin Feng released wind and empty space abstruse energies to run. At the same time, he released earth abstruse energy to protect his body. Dong! Lin Feng heard a sound. His heart started racing, as if it was going to jump out of his chest. At the same time, his armor started crackling. His empty space and wind abstruse energies also broke apart. Boom! Lin Feng released demonic qi this time. He also released force, which was multiplied by 600. Dong! The ground shook and Lin Feng felt like he was going to be crushed again. Many people were watching Lin Feng. They sensed that his qi was incredible, so what was putting so much pressure on him? They couldn't see it, but Lin Feng was sweating. Dong! Lin Feng's heart was racing, fearful that he was going to be crushed alive. Boom! Lin Feng jumped and released sword qi. Then, Lin Feng's body progressively turned black. His pitch-black eyes were filled with a deep darkness. When he glanced around, people would avoid looking at him. What an aggressive qi! Who could attack such a strong cultivator, thought the crowd. Demonic qi, Emperor Wu Tianjian's cultivation type, pitch-black eyes, that's Lin Feng, shouted someone suddenly. Indeed, that's Lin Feng, thought the crowd. Someone wanted to kill Lin Feng. You can't defeat me, said a voice in Lin Feng's brain. That person was trying to ruin Lin Feng's confidence. Slash, slash, sword energies lacerated the space around him. The crowd moved away, fearing they'd get caught up in the fight. You're already dead to me, said a voice. Lin Feng's face became distorted. He released energies, but he couldn't block the attack. One more step and he might die. Was he going to die? He didn't even know who was attacking him. Lin Feng suddenly felt sad and desperate. He hadn't felt like that for a very long time. No, I still have the Jade Emperor's palace, thought Lin Feng. He couldn't give up because he didn't want to die, he still had so many things to do and he had a wonderful family. Piss off, all of you, shouted Lin Feng furiously glancing around at the crowd. The crowd was surprised, but many of them ran away. Lin Feng suddenly turned around, jumped forwards, released as much demonic and sword chi as he could. All the buildings around broke apart. Die, said a cold voice. His face turned deathly pale. Where was the assassin? Behind him. Come out, shouted Lin Feng sounding like a demon. A gigantic hand condensed in the sky and moved towards Lin Feng. Even if he took out the Jade Emperor's palace, he'd die, he couldn't escape that attack. Arg, demon energies rolled in waves and a demon king appeared behind him. Lin Feng's demonic determination was changing. He's leveling up, the crowd in the distance was amazed. Lin Feng had just broken through to the 7th Zun Qi layer, in such a perilous situation. Lin Feng still couldn't resist those energies though. Breaking through to the 7th Zun Qi layer and dying a few minutes later would be even more tragic. It's him. Lin Feng saw Zhou Tianruo and his brother in the distance. Brother, it's him. Kill him, said Zhou Tianshao suddenly. Zhou Tianshao frowned. Lin Feng looked like he was in danger, so attacking him was useless. He glanced around but he couldn't see who was attacking Lin Feng. Bzzz. At that moment, someone appeared in the crowd and ran towards Lin Feng. Zhou Tianshao fixedly stared at him. Then someone flew in front of Lin Feng, grabbed him, and started leaving. The crowd was intrigued. Zhou Tianshao was dumbstruck, but then he suddenly thought about something and chased them. A few seconds later, Zhou Tianshao was in the sky alone. He hadn't managed to catch up with them. Zhou Tianruo arrived behind and said, "Brother, what's going on?" Zhou Tianshao shook his head, he didn't understand either. Lin Feng didn't understand either. They made it to a mountain range before the person put him down. He smiled wryly and shook his head, "Brother, you scared me to death. I noticed that your cultivation was stuck at the top of the 6th Zun Qi layer, so I had to help you." The assassin's energies which Lin Feng had sensed were Mu Chen's. "Thank you, brother," said Lin Feng. He was ultimately happy in the end. "You don't need to thank me, you leveled up thanks to your own abilities. I just guided you a little," said Mu Chen smiling. Some luck and determination had been necessary for Lin Feng to break through to the 7th Zun Qi layer. Mu Chen knew how difficult it was to be stuck at a certain level. Mu Chen had just tried to help Lin Feng and it had worked. Lin Feng still had a long way to go though. Chapter 15-16, Violating Rules. "Brother, I'm now a cultivator at the top of the Zun Qi layer," said Lin Feng smiling. He released strength and smiled. "You want to try and have a fight?" said Mu Chen. Lin Feng was surprised and shrugged, "Don't bully younger disciples." "I'll control my strength," said Mu Chen. He wasn't joking, so Lin Feng wanted to fight now. "All right," said Lin Feng. If Mu Chen wanted to challenge him, why not? Even though Lin Feng was now a cultivator at the top of the Zun Qi layer, he sighed on the inside because Mu Chen was so strong. He was gifted at hiding it too. If Mu Chen wanted to kill Lin Feng without being seen, it would be very easy. "You can attack me, but don't control yourself," said Mu Chen. Lin Feng nodded and released demonic energies immediately. Lin Feng couldn't sense Mu Chen's qi, it was as if Mu Chen didn't exist. Suddenly, Lin Feng jumped forwards and used his deadly demon punch. Mu Chen raised his fist nonchalantly and his strength turned into 1,000 threads of force. "Break," said Mu Chen. Lin Feng's aggressive deadly demon punch dispersed instantly. Lin Feng was incredulous, but he didn't stop. This time he raised both fists and used deadly demon punches in which he condensed force into. Mu Chen looked indifferent, he just raised his fists again and blocked them. Lin Feng released sword energy and slashed ahead of him. Slash, slash, Mu Chen didn't dodge. His threads of energies destroyed Lin Feng's attack, but more threads of Lin Feng's energy moved towards him. Then, Mu Chen destroyed the remaining energies with his fists. Mu Chen smiled and raised his hands, collided against Lin Feng's fists. Lin Feng felt that his soul was going to get kicked out of his body. He was shaking violently and was violently propelled backwards. "Brother, you understand soul strength." Lin Feng realized. No wonder Mu Chen was an adept at hiding. He knew the intensity of each thread of energy, so he knew how to react. "Yes, your attacks are quite strong now. You can make them even better though," said Mu Chen. In the eastern part of Ba Huang, at the limits of the world. The messenger and Emperor Dong were in the Sun Castle. "Your Highness the Messenger, thank you for helping me," said Emperor Dong politely. "Don't worry, I promised you that I'd do it," said the messenger nodding. Emperor Dong smiled and took out a ring, "Your Highness the Messenger, a gift from the Qi clan." The messenger took the ring and said, "Even though I don't involve myself in the small world's affairs, I am in charge of this passage. Nobody can go against my will here." "Of course," said Emperor Dong smiling. "Your Highness the Messenger, you can change the destiny of this small world." "Indeed," said the messenger smiling. He was satisfied with the praise. Emperor Dong then left. "I'm leaving, Your Highness the Messenger." Emperor Dong then left the castle. After Emperor Dong left, the messenger walked to the sun pattern in the palace and a counterforce rolled in waves. Lin Feng and Mu Chen were still practicing in the mountain range. Lin Feng was sweating, but he was having a lot of fun. It seemed like the sun was going to fall from the sky, it was scorching hot as hit their backs. Mu Chen frowned. The sun was getting nearer and nearer before two gigantic golden words appeared in the sky, 30 days. How audacious, thought Mu Chen seemingly furious. The messenger was stealing the sky and putting up a sham sun. He was violating the rules of the small world. "Brother, what's going on?" Lin Feng didn't understand. What was that? Everybody in the small world could see that. Only the messenger can do that because he controls star date strength. He's telling us that we have to go to the holy city within 30 days, otherwise he's going to close the passage, said Mu Chen in a cold way. Lin Feng became upset after hearing this. Last time they wanted to go to the holy city, but the messenger had refused. Did he intend to prevent them from going? Everybody in Ba Huang and Jiu saw that. In some places where it was initially raining, the rain stopped, and they instead saw those gigantic golden words. Ordinary people were speechless. What kind of strong cultivator was that? How could he write in the sky? Bastard! Emperor Yu was with some disciples, but he stopped and cursed out loud. The disciples were surprised. How come Emperor Yu was so upset? Emperor Dong also saw that. He was smiling indifferently and thought, the messenger has been in charge of the small world for such a long time, he's becoming even more audacious. In the celestial walls manor in Jiu, the old man raised his head and his facial expression suddenly changed. He frowned as he said, how audacious. He dares violate the rules. Yun Fei Yang and Bei Yen Yun stood next to the old man. Bei Yen Yun asked, what's going on, teacher? Someone is violating the rules of this small world, said the old man. He controlled himself and tried to look calm again. Then he said, I wanted to help you become stronger at your own pace, but now we can't because we must hurry. The old man rolled up his sleeves and took Yun Fei Yang and Bei Yen Yun away. Chapter 15-17 Emperor Dong's Revenge. Emperor Dong was resting in the Qi Tian Mountain, in Shiri City. He took out a mirror which possessed a terrifying empty space strength. Go. Suddenly, he shook his hand and the mirror shot up into the sky. The ancient mirror diffused ice-cold lights as it fused together with the sky and disappeared. A light appeared in Emperor Dong's godly awareness. It was Emperor Yu's silhouette. He condensed that silhouette with his godly awareness and made it fuse together with the mirror. In the distance, Mu Chen and Lin Feng were flying, but suddenly Mu Chen stopped and raised his head. Some lights were shining upon them with a strange type of qi. Lin Feng sensed something too and raised his head. However, Mu Chen didn't see anything, and Lin Feng couldn't either. They shook their heads because they didn't know what was going on. Back in Shuri City, many strong cultivators saw those lights, and they didn't understand either. That mirror was moving too fast. It was moving even faster than some of the strongest cultivators they had ever seen. In a small abandoned village, Emperor Yu was teaching Xing Zhan some cultivation principles. Strength is good, but you need to be faster, otherwise, you'll be in danger if you meet cultivators who are stronger than you, said Emperor Yu to Xing Zhan. Xing Zhan was a beast, his attacks were explosive and powerful, but he was too slow. I understand. Xing Zhan nodded. Emperor Yu smiled, you can go have a rest. Tian Qi, come here. All right. Tian Qi was seated near them. He smiled and walked to Emperor Yu, but at that moment, Emperor Yu raised his head and saw some flashing lights. Teacher, what's going on? Asked Tian Qi. Emperor Yu frowned. He couldn't see anything, so he just shook his head. However, at that moment, Emperor Dong found Emperor Yu and his disciples. Emperor Yu, you're going to die. Emperor Dong rose up in the air, pulled his mirror away and streaked across the sky. Emperor Yu didn't know what was going on, so he continued teaching his disciples. Suddenly, Emperor Yu sensed some terrifying energies. His facial expression changed drastically as he shouted furiously, "Go, everybody go!" Boom! The space around them exploded as meteorites fell from the sky. Then, Emperor Yu jumped into a crater with his disciples. Boom, 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 the ground exploded in several different places. Then, Emperor Dong appeared. He immediately punched the air in Emperor Yu's direction. Teacher, go. After the disciples saw Emperor Dong, they understood why Emperor Yu was panicking. Their faces also turned deathly pale. Piss off, all of you. Emperor Yu jumped forwards and sealed the space. Emperor Yu could only help his disciples escape. He had no other choice. Boom! A terrifying strength oppressed them, causing the ground to crack. Emperor Yu's stone armor was breaking apart and he was bleeding. Emperor's force was multiplied by 1,000. Therefore, for emperors, the earth and sky were not a problem. However, medium-level emperors controlled cosmic energies even better. Emperor Yu was a low-level emperor and knew he couldn't compete with a medium-level emperor. He had to save his disciples before he could worry about protecting himself. You will all die, none of you will escape, said Emperor Dong. With his mirror, he would find and kill those people sooner or later. Die. Emperor Dong released cosmic energies which reached Emperor Yu, making him cough up even more blood. Arg! Emperor Yu shouted and released terrifying earth energies. Everything around him exploded, and a hole appeared in the air. Bzzz. Emperor Yu used Emperor Dong's strength to create that hole. He wanted to jump inside, but Emperor Dong smiled coldly. Emperor Yu wanted to escape. Where could he go? Destroy. Emperor Dong jumped, and fissures appeared in the sky. Then he chased Emperor Yu into the empty space. Ah! A horrible shriek sounded as Xing Zhan fell to the ground, soaked with blood. Xing Zhan, shouted the others. Their eyes were bloodshot. They were all fixedly staring at that hole. Their teacher and Emperor Dong had jumped inside because he wanted to protect them, but Emperor Yu couldn't defeat Emperor Dong. How had Emperor Dong found them? They all looked desperate. What's going on? The great ape emperor appeared. Emperor Dong came to kill our teacher, said Tian Chi. His face was deathly pale, and he was terrified. Bzzz. A silhouette appeared and punched the air while jumping into the hole. The great ape emperor and Tiantai's disciples were incredulous. How fast? That person was completely silent too. It's the Taoist monk. The great ape emperor could tell that it was Yen Di. He knew how strong Yen Di was. Besides, he had directly jumped into the hole. Who's that? Asked Tian Chi. He couldn't see the silhouette. He feared that it was one of Emperor Dong's allies. It's the Fire Mountain's new emperor, Lin Feng's friend. He came to help, said the great ape emperor. That person has broken through to the Huang Qi layer recently, but his strength is unfathomable. He's even stronger than me. I hope he's here to help. Tian Chi and the others were still very worried. Let's leave, said the great ape emperor to the disciples. Emperor Dong was there, so maybe the old emperor of the Si Kong clan would come and kill them while Emperor Yu was preoccupied. No need. Emperor Dong can find us anywhere. I sensed something a short time ago, and so did our teacher. Some lights appeared and then disappeared. A short time after, Emperor Dong arrived, said Tian Chi, shaking his head. He understood what was going on. Emperor Dong had used a special treasure to find them. All the emperors of Ba Huang are in danger then, said the great ape emperor. Emperor Dong could find all of them at a moment's notice. Our teacher told us that we had to leave within 30 days after those gigantic golden words appeared in the sky. It seems like we have to join hands to protect each other from Emperor Dong and the old emperor of the Si Kong clan. The great ape emperor nodded. He realized that their problems were multiplying. Did those 30 days have anything to do with Emperor Dong? Chapter 15:18, Dead and Tian Chi and the others could only sit there and pray. They couldn't fight against a medium-level emperor. Mister, can you heal Xing Zhan's leg? Asked Tian Chi. The great ape emperor remained silent for a few minutes. Xing Zhan's leg had been cut by the cosmic energies of a medium-level emperor, so healing his leg would be very difficult. It seems like I lost my leg, sighed Xing Zhan, trying to smile. Xing Zhan. Tian Chi and Mu Bei didn't know what to say to cheer him up. Today, we're still alive thanks to our teacher. A leg doesn't matter. With my strength, even without that leg, I can still practice cultivation and fight, said Xing Zhan smiling. Tian Chi and Mu Bei nodded. They admired him for his courage. They raised their heads and tried to see if their teacher was going to come back safe and sound or not. After a long time, finally, two silhouettes appeared again. Emperor Yu. Teacher, the disciples ran towards him. The two people were Yen Di and Emperor Yu. Emperor Yu didn't look fine. He was bleeding, and he looked like he had lost all his strength. His chi was very weak, as if he was going to die. I'm all right, said Emperor Yu, trying to smile. Tian Chi and the others' eyes were bloodshot, crackling sounds popped. They clenched their fists. Emperor Dong. Tian Chi was furious. Yen Di saved my life. I would have died without him, said Emperor Yu, smiling. He controlled Earth cosmic energy, which allowed him to increase his defense, but Emperor Dong controlled empty space cosmic energy, which had a slicing characteristic. Emperor Yu couldn't escape either. Yen Di had intervened at a crucial moment. Thank you, Master, said Tian Chi to Yen Di. It was a pleasure, said Yen Di calmly and serenely. Teacher, in the distance, Lin Feng and Mu Qin came back. They pulled a long face. Emperor Yu smiled at them and said, we must hurry and inform all the emperors of Ba Huang. Emperor Dong has a precious item which allows him to find us anywhere. Bzzz, some lights flashed in the sky. That's precisely that thing, said Emperor Yu while looking at the lights which had quickly disappeared again. We can't stay in Ba Huang for too long it seems, said Mu Chen as he gazed into the distance. Emperors were fine, but young people had to be very careful. Emperor Wen quickly appeared looking distraught. Emperor Dong has an ancient mirror which allows him to find people. We need to inform all the emperors of Ba Huang, said Emperor Yu to Emperor Wen. Emperor Wen nodded and said, I understand. My dad has already started informing people. Emperor Yu, your injuries. Emperor Yu shook his head. He had been injured by cosmic energies. Even though his life wasn't in danger, his injuries were very serious. His strength was affected. It would be difficult for him to recover. Yen Di. Lin Feng turned to the Taoist monk. He knew a lot, so maybe he knew what to do. I'm not a healer, and I don't understand life, cosmic energy either. I can't heal him, said Yen Di. Once in the holy city, you should find a medium-level or a higher-level emperor who understands life, cosmic energy. That or a great alchemist or doctor. Yen Di then turned to Xingzhan and said, your injuries are less serious than Emperor Yu's. Emperor Yu was a bit disappointed. Emperor Dan was a great alchemist, but he was dead. He had to go to the holy city to find a stronger cultivator who could help him. But then again, why would those incredible cultivators help him? Mr. Xiao, thought Lin Feng. Mr. Xiao was mysterious. He had saved Lin Feng's life before and his medicine didn't leave a negative impact on Lin Feng's cultivation, it even helped him become stronger. Don't worry about my injuries. We need to come up with a way to leave, said Emperor Yu calmly. Is the messenger the only one who can send people to the holy city? Asked Lin Feng. The messenger wasn't very nice, and he was friends with Emperor Dong. The emperors looked pensive. There were several exits, indeed. We can't consider the other one, said the great ape emperor while shaking his head. In Ba Huang province, there is only one exit, but in Jiuyu, there is another one according to legends. But it's in a forbidden place in Jiuyu where even emperors can die. Indeed, there's no need to consider Jiuyu's exit, said Emperor Wen. A high-level emperor can pierce through the barrier of the sky, said Yen Di. High-level emperors can break the sky barrier. That's why the strongest cultivators of this world are medium-level emperors. High-level emperors will just leave, thought Lin Feng. So, the light beam which had emerged from the 3 live scriptures had the power of a high-level emperor. While everybody was thinking, Emperor Wen's father and Emperor Dong were racing against time. Emperor Dong continued using his mirror. He wanted to find Lin Feng, but after he saw that Lin Feng was with Yen Di, Emperor Dong gave up. He didn't know who the Taoist monk was, but he was too strong. His cosmic energies were terrifying, and his holy mark strength was astonishing. Yen Di had attained the highest degree of perfection whilst using holy marks. After that, he looked for the 6 Desires Empress. That evil woman had made an alliance with Emperor Yu. He wanted to capture her alive and use her as a sex slave. Not just her, but her disciple, Yiren Lei too. Chapter 1519 Emperor Wu Tianjian Emperor Yu, Emperor Dong hates Tian Tai, which is why he looked for you. After you, whom do you think he will hunt for? Asked Emperor Wen. Maybe that he will also look for the emperors who joined in the Qi clan's destruction, said Emperor Yu. Yiren is in danger, thought Lin Feng. Her teacher had come on the day when the Qi clan was destroyed. Apart from those few emperors, the Watcher's father had come too, the 6 Desires Empress, the Assassin Emperor and the others. Emperor Dong would probably choose the 6 Desires Empress first. Lin Feng looked at Yen Di and hesitated. If he asked Yen Di to go, they wouldn't be able to protect themselves against Emperor Dong if he came back. Jiang'a, suddenly thought Lin Feng. He gazed into the distance and said, Yen Di, go to the Heavens of Desire's palace, everybody else can come with me to Jiang'a. We'll be safe there. That sounds good. Yen Di, you're very strong and very fast. You and Emperor Wen's father can stay together, said Emperor Yu. All right. No problem, said Yen Di. Then, he disappeared. What a terrifying speed. He's even faster than me, thought Emperor Wen. Let's go to Sword City, said Lin Feng. I also want to see the old man of Jianya, said Emperor Yu. Lin Feng and the other strong cultivators landed in Jiangu. Jianya's people welcomed him politely. Jian Mu even welcomed them personally. Mu Qin immediately left after that. He wanted to find the other disciples from Tiantai. Lin Feng didn't bring people to the sword grave though, he went to the sword grave alone. As soon as the old man saw Lin Feng, he smiled indifferently and said, I know what's going on outside. The two sides violated the rules and now such things are happening. Rules? Lin Feng was surprised. He didn't understand. Were there rules between the Imperial Assassin Union and the Watchers? Master, my teacher wants to see you, said Lin Feng. Tell him to come, said the old man calmly. Lin Feng went out and called Emperor Yu. Then, they came back. The old man sighed and said, You're like me now, what a pity. Emperor Yu bowed politely before the old man and said, I am not worth mentioning in the same sentence as you, master. Don't be that polite. Have a seat, said the old man. Emperor Yu smiled at Lin Feng, please sit down too. Your body has been cleansed, so you are starting to be one with nature. You can't stay here, you must leave for the holy city where you will have more opportunities, said the old man. Emperor Yu shook his head and said, back then, some old friends and I wanted to leave but one of my friends died from the Imperial Assassin Union. It changed both our destinies. Therefore, you need to make sure things end differently. The Imperial Assassin Union is becoming even more audacious, and they have influence. They want to take control over Ba Huang and Zhou Yu. Therefore, we can only strike back, otherwise, the end results will be tragic. You've seen what happened, said Emperor Yu to the old man. The old man remained silent for a few seconds and finally nodded. Indeed, the messenger has also forgotten what his responsibilities are. You didn't do anything wrong. Maybe to them, the small world is like a game of chess. You're playing quite well. Emperor Yu was happy that the old man agreed. Then, he slowly stood up and bowed respectfully, thank you for helping us. Me, said the old man smiling wryly, I'm like you, I'm injured. I was injured by cosmic energies, so I can't fight. I'm sure Emperor Wu Tianjian doesn't know what impossible means. You've existed for 5,000 years after all, said Emperor Yu. The old man looked at Emperor Yu in a strange way. Lin Feng's eyes were twinkling. Was the old man of the sword grave Emperor Wu Tianjian who used to amaze everyone 5,000 years ago? He had become so old that nobody knew him anymore. Indeed, 5,000 years before, none of Jiang's current people were born yet. The old man looked at Lin Feng and stretched out his hands which had scars and blisters left from his sword. Lin Feng, and the other disciples from Tiantai are really talented. You can place all your hopes on them, said the old man tapping Lin Feng's shoulder. Emperor Yu nodded, indeed, master. I am ready to die for them. We can die, but they can't. That's why I'm asking for your help, said Emperor Yu bowing. Lin Feng was clenching his fists so hard that his nails pierced through the palms of his hands. What makes you act so brave, sighed the old man. Emperor Yu was an emperor, so cultivation was the most precious thing he had in life. Who was willing to die for other people when cultivation mattered most? My fellow disciple who has been there for me for hundreds of years gives me faith, said Emperor Yu smiling in a resplendent way. He missed his friend. Emperor sure, thought Lin Feng. Chapter 1520, Chessboard Emperor Wu Tianjian whispered, I spent my entire life practicing sword cultivation. Even if the members of Jiang think dearly about me, in my life, I've never actually had a friend or lover. I've always only loved my sword. Do you understand what I mean? I understand. Emperor Yu nodded. Why would Emperor Wu Tianjian have compassion for Emperor Yu? But you like Lin Feng and I'm injured. If you stay like this, you'll die sooner or later. You know Lin Feng, you know how he is, if he reaches the clouds, he won't forget you in the future. Emperor Yu continued trying to convince Emperor Wu Tianjian. The old man smiled and said, "Maybe that little boy is the friend I've never had," said the old man kindly. Now he was smiling in a resplendent way. Emperor Yu also smiled. They both looked at Lin Feng in a kind and gentle way, as if they had been looking at their own son. "I'm off, master, see you around," said Emperor Yu before leaving. Lin Feng watched him leave. Their conversation had made him think about many, many things, including the mysteries of the small world. "Master, are there rules between the Imperial Assassin Union and the Watchers?" asked Lin Feng to the old man. The old man nodded and said, "Very old rules which have been determined for a long time behind the scenes. The Imperial Assassin Union doesn't only kill people who have the potential to become emperors. Nobody would waste time trying to do that. Their goal is to eliminate some people or block some others. If they want to eliminate someone, they kill them, if they want to block someone, they control them. But some people from influential groups in Ba Huang don't want to be killed or controlled, so the Watchers help them. During the events in Fortune City, it was decided who the Watchers would protect. Those people are the Imperial Assassin Union's main targets. They are also the symbols of the Watchers. The Watchers' father places high hopes on them. He hopes they'll create a better future for Ba Huang, or that they'll leave and come back, annihilating the Imperial Assassin Union once and for all. So we can't say that the Qi clan and the Si Kong clan control the Imperial Assassin Union, thought Lin Feng. For the people behind the Imperial Assassin Union, the small world is like a chessboard, it provides them with an endless quantity of cultivators. Every 100 years, they choose some. Therefore, the Imperial Assassin Union will always exist because they're from there, said the old man calmly. Lin Feng remembered the banquet in the Qi Empire. Many imperial disciples had appeared and attacked their own teachers, which made sense now. My teacher knew something was going to happen, but he didn't say anything. Lin Feng knew that his teacher had something to do with the Watchers, maybe the great ape emperor did too, and the old emperor of the celestial palace of the immortals. You're right, he knew, but he needed the Imperial Assassin Union act first. They let the Imperial Assassin Union attack so that everybody could have a reason to attack the Imperial Assassin Union, said the old man. Lin Feng nodded. For the Watchers, it worked to their benefit. After the wedding ceremony in the Qi Empire, many people had started banding together to fight against the Imperial Assassin Union. The Watchers don't want you to stay in Ba Huang. They want you all to leave the world eventually, said the old man. The Watchers hope will be able to annihilate those who control the Imperial Assassin Union. That way, the safety of the small world will be guaranteed, said Lin Feng. However, the old man smiled thinly and shook his head. No, you're wrong. I'm wrong. Lin Feng was very surprised. You're wrong, said the old man nodding. New groups keep appearing and disappearing. You underestimate the potential of the people that a small world can create. In the Holy City, many groups of influence fight for small worlds like crazy. In their eyes, small worlds are not worlds, small worlds are treasures. They train geniuses in small worlds. You cannot imagine what the Holy City is like. You should never underestimate a small world. Every 100 years, geniuses from here go to the Holy City, and maybe 10 people leave each time. But imagine the number of geniuses who emerge in 1,000, 10,000 or even 100,000 years. Amongst them, then again, imagine the most talented of all those talented people, said the old man smiling. Lin Feng was pensive. Some of those people had the potential to become peerless cultivators. A small world is not only a world where geniuses are chosen, it's also a nice place to practice cultivation. People like Xia Tianfan, Zhou Tianroa or Gu Li all go to small worlds to practice cultivation. Why don't they send medium-level emperors to this small world to take control of it? Asked Lin Feng. Because there isn't just one group of influence that controls this small world, they have agreements, and there are rules. If you're strong and destroy everything or act as a horrible ruler, then you just waste the small world's potential, explained Emperor Wu Tianjian. This time, Lin Feng remained silent for a very long time before he said, "So our teacher hoped that someday, we'll control this small world." Emperor Wu Tianjian smiled. If they became extremely strong, that small world would be safe. If they controlled that world, then nobody would be able to harm the people in there. Lin Feng and Emperor Wu Tianjian didn't continue talking. Emperor Wu Tianjian stood up and continued cleaning the sword grave. Lin Feng was seated and seemed pensive. He was thinking about what Emperor Yu and Emperor Wu Tianjian had said. Each time a battle happened in that small world, it was as if strong cultivators were playing chess. Chapter 1521. The only option. Yan Di and Emperor Wen's father came back and brought a lot of people with them, the Six Desires Empress, the Assassin Emperor, the Emperor of the Celestial Thunder Temple and their disciples. Nobody had died. Jian Mu was serving everybody as they arrived. He had never thought that Jiang'e would become the place of reunion for all the emperors of Ba Huang. Jian Mu was excited for their newfound popularity. He knew that their young master, who had already broken through to the 7th Zun Qi layer, would also break through to the Huang Qi layer soon. Even now, he had brought so many emperors. Jian Mu didn't know about all the things Lin Feng and the old man had talked about. How would he react if he knew that the old man was their ancestor? "We can be grateful to Emperor Yan, he's the reason why we're safe and sound," said the Six Desires Empress. If Yan Di hadn't come to her, Emperor Dong may have found her and she would have been in danger. Emperor Yu had already been injured by Emperor Dong's cosmic energies and he couldn't heal himself in Ba Huang. He would need to be lucky in the future, otherwise, his strength would be restricted forever, and he would never be able to improve again. "Indeed, Yan Di helped us so much," said Emperor Wen's father smiling. "It was my pleasure," said Yan Di. The Six Desires Empress smiled at Lin Feng and said, "You are now a cultivator at the top of the Zun Qi layer, congratulations. You'll soon break through to the Huang Qi layer even." "Thank you," said Lin Feng smiling. "We should determine a strategy to fight against Emperor Dong. If we don't kill him now, we'll be stuck together forever. If we disperse, he'll keep chasing us," said Emperor Wen, who was standing next to his father. "The messenger also said that we'd have to send our disciples abroad within 30 days, otherwise, he'd close the passage," said Emperor Devamara. Everybody looked pensive. 30 days would pass quickly, especially now that Emperor Dong has started hunting people. "Our chances of survival are very low if we see our students off," said Emperor Yu. People were surprised. "Some extremely strong people control the Imperial Assassin Union, so we can't remain enemies with them. If our disciples leave this small world, they won't be able to escape from those people in the Holy City. The messenger probably works with them too. So what should we do?" Everyone looked at Emperor Yu. They trusted him a lot these days. "Emperor Yu, you're a member of the Watchers Union, right?" asked the Assassin Emperor. "Indeed," said Emperor Yu, "the Great Ape Emperor is also one of them. The old emperor from the Celestial Palace of the Immortals is the former Watcher's father. There are probably some things I don't understand clearly, but everybody can trust me. The Imperial Assassin Union, since the wedding ceremony, keeps proving what kind of intentions they harbor. They don't care about the rules, so if we leave, we will end up in the tiger's mouth. I can prove it. The assassins in the Qi Empire and those cultivators at the top of the Zun Qi layer who controlled cosmic energies weren't cultivators of the Qi clan or the Si Kong clan, they are probably from behind the scenes. In the past, they didn't get involved in the affairs of this world, but now they do. This shows how badly they want to control Ba Huang and Jiu Yu, and that even the messenger is corrupt," said Emperor Wen. "Emperor Wen, why did those disciples attack their teachers that day?" "They are controlled by those people who control the Imperial Assassin Union. Some people decide to join one group or the other, so it must have to do with their agreement, said Emperor Wen. Everybody looked at Emperor Yu. Emperor Yu nodded. Indeed, initially, there was an agreement of balance, but in practice, there is no equilibrium. If our disciples leave, they will be captured by the Imperial Assassin Union. So what can we do? Asked the Assassin Emperor. They weren't surprised that those who control the Imperial Assassin Union would do such things. There is a solution, said Emperor Yu. We all leave this world, said Emperor Yu. Everyone had already thought of that, but it seemed drastic. But the messenger was corrupt, he would never let them leave. Emperor Yu knew what everybody was thinking, so he said, therefore, there's only one solution. Since the messenger violated the rules of this world, we can force him to open the passage and let us pass. That's the only option. We have no other choice. Force the messenger. Everybody thought that was insane. The messenger controlled that world, and he had a very particular social status. Indeed, that's the only way, thought everybody. It's easier said than done though, said Emperor Devamara while sighing. That's why we need to be all together. I will try to find a way to make the messenger, Emperor Dong, and the old emperor of the Si Kong clan come to Sword City. When the time comes, we'll act at the same time and leave the world, said Emperor Yu calmly. The news that all the emperors were in Sword City quickly spread everywhere. At the same time, Emperor Yu shouted and insulted the messenger repeatedly. The other emperors did the same. They expressed their discontentment and insulted the messenger, telling him that he didn't deserve to be the messenger. Slowly, people learnt about the existence of a mysterious messenger. They didn't understand why the emperors insulted him though. Then, news spread that the emperors of Ba Huang intended to occupy Sword City and stay there with their disciples. They said they didn't intend to leave. What was going on? Were the emperors not going to leave Sword City anymore? All of them? Back at the Sun Castle, an old man's facial expression was ice cold. They think I can't hear them, said the messenger. Emperor Dong smiled in a cold way and said, maybe they're trying to infuriate you. What you mean to say is that a cornered beast can do anything, said the messenger frowning. He rolled up his sleeves and said, it's ridiculous. They're a bunch of ignorant people. Do they think they can defeat me? They want to bring about their own destruction, said Emperor Dong smiling in a cold way. Chapter 1522, Punishing Thunder Heart Sutra. More and more people gathered in Sword City. Lin Feng and the others were walking in the city center of Sword City. Emperor Yu, Emperor Wen and Yen Di were next to Lin Feng. Because of Emperor Dong, they didn't dare disperse. In the air, the mirror flashed and illuminated them. Lin Feng immediately stopped. He's coming, they thought. Emperor Dong knew where they were. Lin Feng and the others continued walking in Sword City as if they didn't suspect anything. Lin Feng, Emperor Wen, Emperor Yu. The news is real, the emperors are not leaving Sword City. Lin Feng and the others didn't hide anything. They dare walk outside, thought some people. Emperor Dong was a medium-level emperor, so he could defeat them easily. Who's that Taoist? It seems like he's also an emperor, thought some people when they saw Yen Di. He had the demeanor of a transcendent being, and he didn't have the eyes of a Taoist monk. You don't understand. That's the new emperor of the Fire Mountain. When he was still a Zun cultivator, he fooled all the emperors. Now, he's broken through to the Huang Qi layer. He even made Emperor Peng struggle the last time they fought, said some people who had heard about Yen Di. Boom, in a flash, a terrifying Qi surface. However, as soon as that terrifying Qi surrounded them, Yen Di jumped, and lights illuminated the space. Then, they all disappeared. Boom. A terrifying energy crashed where they initially were and Emperor Dong appeared. His attack had failed, so he glanced around. You again, shouted Emperor Dong furiously. That damn Taoist monk was so fast, and he controlled marks to an extreme degree. Kaboom! Thunders sounded in the sky. A silhouette appeared. He wore a white robe and was surrounded by lightning. Who's that? Thought some people. The messenger. Yan Di, Lin Feng and the others looked at that strong cultivator. That was the messenger, he was a thunder cultivator. I heard that some people were unhappy with the messenger's measures, said the messenger angrily. You're joking. We would never dare say anything about your highness the messenger, said Emperor Yu smiling indifferently. Some more people appeared, the old emperor from the Si Kong clan was even there. Together, there were 3 medium-level emperors on their side. Do you think I'm stupid? Said the messenger. Thunderous energies surrounded Emperor Yu, making him feel paralyzed. You said I didn't deserve to be a messenger, you said you hoped I'd die. You said all those things. Terrifying thunder energies continued to surround Emperor Yu. I did say that, but you did violate the rules, didn't you? Since you violated the rules, you're not doing your job right, am I wrong? Said Emperor Yu. While Emperor Yu and the messenger were talking, more emperors appeared around him, Emperor Wen's father, the old emperor of the celestial palace of the immortals. Right, as a messenger, I shouldn't get involved, but since you all humiliated me and said you wished I would die, I have no choice but to act, said the messenger. He had obviously noticed the emperors surrounding him, but he didn't care. Emperor Dong started releasing energies to attack Emperor Wen's father, while the old emperor of the Si Kong clan released energies to attack the other old emperor. Emperor Yu, Lin Feng, move back, said Yan Di. Emperor Yu was injured, and Lin Feng was still too weak. Emperor Yu and Lin Feng moved away. Then the messenger said, I'm the messenger and I possess punishing thunders. Today, I will punish you. Die. Suddenly, purple, thunderous energies lit the sky. Then, lightning ceaselessly fell. Kaboom! The thunders crashed, but Lin Feng was still safe and sound. The Watcher's father had appeared in front of Emperor Yu and him. Go, said the Watcher's father to Lin Feng and Emperor Yu. The messenger groaned coldly and chased them. Could they escape? Piss off, said someone else. Then, someone suddenly appeared in front of the messenger. Terrifying lights surrounded his thunderous energies, and a pitch-black fire started burning. The messenger had a feeling that he was in danger. You must want to die, shouted the messenger as he released more thunderous energies. The punishing lightnings crashed onto the lights and some cracks appeared, but the Taoist monk was still alive. You studied the punishing Thunder Heart Sutra, said the Taoist monk. The messenger suddenly looked astonished. Who are you? How do you know about the punishing Thunder Heart Sutra? In that small world, how could there be someone who knew his skills? There aren't that many thunder skills, and amongst them, that one is very weak. So, it can only be the punishing Thunder Heart Sutra, explained Yan Di mockingly. The punishing Thunder Heart Sutra was an incredibly powerful skill which had been created by a great emperor, but surprisingly, Yan Di said it was weak. Actually, the punishing Thunder Heart Sutra wasn't that weak, it was just that Yan Di was mocking him. What do you understand? Said the messenger angrily. Amongst thunder attacks, you have the Anatara world-destroying Thunder Sutra, from the godly crime-punishing ancient scriptures, the original Brahma Thunder Sutra. And yet you're telling me that your punishing Thunder Heart Sutra is good, said Yan Di mockingly. The messenger was astonished again. Those scriptures Yan Di was talking about were all really, incredibly, astonishingly terrifying. Chapter 1523, Arrogant Zhou Tian Shao, the messenger didn't say much more. He shook his hand and 9 punishing thunders descended from the sky towards Yan Di. Yan Di shook his hands and terrifying marks appeared in front of him. Both a moon and a sun formed, each containing terrifying energies. The 9 lightnings broke as they crashed onto the patterns, but then they reappeared again 1,000 meters away. The messenger wasn't an emperor from Ba Huang, he was a medium-level emperor from the holy city, so he was a lot stronger than the emperors from Ba Huang. He was in charge of the passage between the real world and the small world, so technically, apart from high-level emperors, people had to go through him to get to the holy city. Yen Di, go and fight against Emperor Dong. Don't give him any time. Yen Di moved away without saying anything. He ran from the messenger to Emperor Dong. The messenger was surprised and then glared at the Watcher's father. Messenger, you violated the rules, said the Watcher's father hoarsely. I control punishing thunders. Who can punish me in this place? Yelled the messenger. You will be punished for violating the rules, said the Watcher's father. Lin Feng was already far away. The Watcher's father had taken him and Emperor Yu very far away. The Six Desires Empress and the others were there too. At that moment, in the distance, two silhouettes appeared. Lin Feng sensed that those people wanted to kill him, so he turned around. Zhou Tianrua and his brother, they were in Sword City too. That's Lin Feng, said Zhou Tianxiao, who instantly released golden energies. Lin Feng ignored Zhou Tianxiao. You come out yourself or I'll come and kill you, said Zhou Tianxiao. Lin Feng frowned and said, you came to avenge that piece of trash. Lin Feng then looked at Zhou Tianrua mockingly. Zhou Tianrua, it seems like the word useless was created to describe exactly you. You're such a crappy cultivator that you've made your brother handle your own fights. Zhou Tianrua looked furious. Lin Feng was making fun of him. Zhou Tianxiao glared at Lin Feng, and then suddenly started running towards him while releasing golden energies. He's an emperor and he wants to kill a weaker cultivator, how ridiculous. Emperor Devamara jumped towards Zhou Tianxiao. Zhou Tianxiao didn't hesitate, he continued running while releasing energies. At the same time, he punched the air in Emperor Devamara's direction. Boom! Emperor Devamara was propelled backwards, his arm even felt sore. A bunch of short-sighted people, what do you understand about cultivation, said Zhou Tianxiao. He continued running forwards while releasing oppressive energies as if he hadn't seen the other emperors. Go, even though Emperor Yu was injured, he could still use cosmic energy. He shouted furiously, and some mountains appeared in the sky, instantly oppressing Zhou Tianxiao. Zhou Tianxiao punched them, and they immediately fell apart. His body even pierced through a mountain. He had a golden aura which made his body seemingly indestructible. I'll teach you about cultivation, said Zhou Tianxiao. Illusion, the Six Desires Empress jumped forwards and smiled in a seductive way. Zhou Tianxiao's facial expression didn't change at all. He wasn't affected by her attacks either. Dodge, a gigantic golden hand descended from the sky. The golden holy energy from that attack was way more powerful than Zhou Tianrua's. Zhou Tianxiao slapped the Six Desires Empress and made her fly away. His energies and determination were impressive. What could Lin Feng do now? Phew, a gigantic black stick appeared and descended from the sky. Zhou Tianxiao suddenly turned around and raised his hands. Quickly, his golden hands collided with the wooden stick and Zhou Tianxiao was propelled away. What an army, thought Zhou Tianxiao, looking at all the emperors. You're an emperor, do you think killing young cultivators is something you can be proud of? I don't care about pride, I just want to teach him a lesson. He attacked my little brother, so I can kill him if I want to, said Zhou Tianxiao in a cold way. Die, shouted Zhou Tianxiao. Suddenly, millions of golden holy imprints appeared. The great ape emperor used his gigantic destruction rod spell again, but the countless golden holy threads of energies pierced through it. Zhou Tianxiao shouted furiously, and a holy golden sword shot out of his mouth, piercing through the gigantic stick and heading towards Lin Feng. Arg! The great ape emperor shouted furiously and he himself grew. Zhou Tianxiao looked a bit scared, but he looked at Lin Feng again and said, "Look at me." Terrifying energies penetrated Lin Feng's brain. Then, Zhou Tianxiao rose up in the air. The great ape emperor was a strong cultivator, strong enough to stop Zhou Tianshao from killing Lin Feng at least. If I see you again, I'll kill you, said Zhou Tianshao. Then, he glanced at the emperors and Lin Feng and said, you people are weak, in a one-on-one battle, I'll kill you all. Then, Zhou Tianshao and Zhou Tianruo left. Chapter 1524, Emperor Wu Tianjian's intervention. That guy is very young and is already a low-level emperor. He's even stronger than me, said the Six Desires Empress indifferently. No need to compare yourself. We are in a small world, so we don't have access to the most powerful skills. We can only rely on ourselves in this world or cosmic energies. It's only natural that he is stronger than us, said Emperor Yu indifferently. Indeed, leaving this place will benefit us, said the Great Ape Emperor as placed his wooden stick on his shoulder. He gazed into the distance and continued watching those terrifying battles. At that moment, the messenger slowly walked forwards while releasing more punishing thunders. The area slowly turned into a type of thunderous world. Then the messenger said, this place is my world, I am the Punisher here. Fighting against me means fighting against the sky. Thunderous lights appeared in his eyes. Those eyes could pierce through the Watcher's father's body. That's an illusion, thought the Watcher's father. His facial expression suddenly changed. Slash, terrifying sword lights lacerated the thunder world. The messenger suddenly looked astonished. He sensed how terrifying those sword energies were above his head, and they were becoming even more powerful. He was even suffocating. Who's that? The messenger's face turned pale. He saw an old man in the sky, there was no sword, that person was a sword. The thunderous ocean turned into a sword ocean. The messenger's facial expression changed drastically. He raised his hands and thunders rolled in waves, but the old man continued walking ahead. The messenger felt like he was being strangled, that feeling worsened the closer the old man got. The messenger wanted to run away, but he couldn't. If he turned around, maybe then that sword would stab him in the back. So, he had to face the old man. The old man was Emperor Wu Tianjian. His wrinkles had almost disappeared though. He looked as sharp as a sword, instead of his usual sickly old self. You don't rule this world, you're just a doorman, said Emperor Wu Tianjian in a sharp way. The messenger didn't dare look at Emperor Wu Tianjian's eyes, he feared that they would stab him if he did. The messenger looked distraught. You don't rule this world, you're just a doorman. In the distance, Emperor Dong and the old emperor from the Si Kong clan saw that someone was oppressing the messenger. Why? How come there was such a strong cultivator in that small world? What would happen if such a strong cultivator used his full strength? Could he even pierce through the sky? Emperor Dong, said Emperor Wu Tianjian in a sharp way. Sharp energies surrounded Emperor Dong and imprisoned him. You're too greedy. From now on, the Imperial Assassin Union will disappear from Ba Huang, said Emperor Wu Tianjian in a calm and serene way, as if he were the leader of that world. Besides, give me the item which allows you to track people. I'll decide whether your successor will be eligible to receive it or not, said Emperor Wu Tianjian. Emperor Dong was even more furious. What? Do you want me to take the initiative and take it? Said Emperor Wu Tianjian aggressively. Sword energies were whistling as they surrounded Emperor Dong. Even the messenger looked weak in front of him. If Emperor Wu Tianjian wanted to kill them, he could. I'll report that to the elders, said Emperor Dong shaking. Then he took out the ancient mirror and threw it at Emperor Wu Tianjian. Emperor Wu Tianjian looked at the mirror and put it away. The emperors took in a deep breath of relief. All right. This place needs some peace and tranquility for the next 100 years. We should go, said Emperor Wu Tianjian to the messenger. Then, some people appeared behind Emperor Wu Tianjian. The emperors were gathering behind him with their disciples. They all wanted to leave that place together. The messenger's life was in Emperor Wu Tianjian's hands, so he had to obey. He slowly turned around and walked forwards. Emperor Dong was still oppressed by sword energies, he was suffocating from them even. Some time passed and they all left Sword City. Was that Emperor Wu Tianjian? Many people had observed the battle and were wondering. They would never forget that battle. Emperor Wu Tianjian and the messenger, they had never seen such strong cultivators in their lives. They still didn't know that their world was fake though. Clouds rolled in the sky. The old man from the Celestial Walls Manor was upset when he saw that I'm late. Then a strong wind started blowing again, and there were two people standing beside him. At that same time, a group of people arrived at the Sun Castle. The messenger put his hand on the sun pattern and it opened itself. It was a door, the door to the holy city. Chapter 1525, The First Battle in the Great World. Lin Feng couldn't believe his eyes. What kind of world would the holy city be? Lin Feng turned around and glanced at the palace one last time. He didn't know when he would come back because nobody could know what would happen in the Great World. Go, said Emperor Wu Tianjian smiling at Lin Feng in a gentle way. Then Lin Feng nodded. Let's go together. Those people gradually crossed the gate. People crossed the gate, one after the other. Lin Feng then followed the crowd ahead. Very quickly, nobody was left in the castle apart from Emperor Wu Tianjian, Emperor Dong, and the messenger. After they left, Emperor Wu Tianjian didn't leave. He looked at the messenger in a cold way and put his sword on his throat. You're just the doorman here, so do your job. If you violate the rules again, I guarantee you that I won't let you off. The messenger was petrified. His mouth twitched. After crossing the door, Lin Feng and the others had an incredible sensation. They turned around and they only saw a normal door. That door didn't have incredible empty space energies or anything, but it was probably still significant. One step and they were in a new world. They arrived in an ancient castle with a long corridor. Are we already in the Great World? Thought the crowd. They walked ahead in the corridor rather slowly, as if they were scared to see something happen. Suddenly, everybody stopped. Get ready to fight. They don't care about young people here, so they could kill you, said Emperor Yu. Everybody nodded and continued walking. They left the corridor and took their first steps outside. It was very windy, making the crowd feel cold. There was a vast desert at the end of the corridor. There were two people waiting there, their eyes were closed. After the crowd stepped out, those people's eyes suddenly opened. Those must be the people who determined the 30-day rule, thought the crowd. The Imperial Assassin Union's rulers didn't intend to let them off. Us emperors can fight while everyone else should escape as far as you can. Boom, boom, the ground shook and dust rose up in the air. A terrifying cosmic strength cage trapped them and a dragon inside. The emperors didn't have time to protect the weaker cultivators. Those people didn't want to kill them, they only wanted to capture them alive. In the desert, a terrifying sun pattern appeared. The dragon looked fierce, like it wanted to break the cage. Boom, a silhouette suddenly shot out. He didn't want to fight, he wanted to run away instead. Emperor Devamara. Lin Feng recognized him. Wasn't he as determined as the other emperors? The Imperial Assassin Union's targets weren't those emperors, they only wanted the young people. Emperor Devamara wanted Xiao Yu to choose his own path, so nobody blamed him, but some people felt uncomfortable. It's an empty space seal, shouted Emperor Devamara as he ran back. Yen Di, you'll have to break the seal, shouted the Great Ape Emperor. Yen Di's attacks were terrifying. When he had just broken through to the Huang Qi layer, he had already managed to break Emperor Peng's defense. All right. Yen Di nodded and hurried over while releasing black fire energies. Then, a gigantic earth hand grabbed Lin Feng suddenly. Piss off, shouted Emperor Yu as he landed before Lin Feng. Suddenly, the earth hand faded. Then, Lin Feng and Emperor Yu frowned. The earth hand turned into a large stone and bombarded Emperor Yu. Emperor Yu was bleeding after taking that hit. Teacher. Emperor Yu's body crashed onto Lin Feng. Chapter 1526, Mu Chen. Lin Feng and Emperor Yu were bombarded by energies, but they were protected by a mountain. Meteorites fell from the sky. The gigantic stone hand and the terrifying lights falling down made things look apocalyptic. Lin Feng, run away. Emperor Yu pushed Lin Feng away. Teacher, shouted Lin Feng, he was dumbstruck. His teacher couldn't die. The stones didn't care about Lin Feng's thoughts. The one who was fighting against Emperor Yu was an earth cultivator like him, but he was stronger than Emperor Yu. A gigantic hand softly appeared in front of Emperor Yu. Brother, shouted Lin Feng hoarsely. That was Mu Chen. Maybe that strength was going to kill Lin Feng's teacher and Mu Chen. He wasn't an emperor, so he couldn't deal with that strength. Even if he were an emperor, he still couldn't deal with that strength. You must want to die, shouted Mu Chen, his eyes were bloodshot. Suddenly, Mu Chen released energies which turned into millions of hands and moved towards the oppressive energies. Mu Chen himself also turned into a light. Energies rolled in waves. The enemy was wearing a beautiful earthen armor, and it was extremely thick. Mu Chen's hands assaulted him, making him shake down to his soul. Die, said Mu Chen coldly. He continued assaulting the enemy. Lin Feng saw the emperor's armor crackle. How's that possible, thought Lin Feng. His heart was pounding. Lin Feng was amazed, astonished, dumbstruck. That emperor from the great world could oppress Emperor Yu, but Mu Chen was crushing him. Lin Feng wasn't the only one who was astonished. Many other emperors who were fighting were just as amazed. The first emperor had died, an emperor from the holy city. Buddy, are you okay? Mu Chen looked at Emperor Yu, he felt guilty. Lin Feng was completely astonished, buddy. Emperor sure, thought Lin Feng immediately. That mysterious disciple wasn't a cultivator at the very top of the Zun Qi layer. It was Emperor sure, he had never left Tiantai, he was there the entire time. Buddy, whispered Lin Feng. Then he smiled in a resplendent way. The two cultivators looked like great friends. No wonder Emperor Shi had reacted like that. Emperor Yu had already been injured before. He controls soul strength, that's why he can hide himself so well. He could turn into a cultivator at the very top of the Zun Qi layer and hide amongst us. He was protecting us without telling us, thought Lin Feng. Tiantai's disciples had gone through a lot, but someone had been secretly protecting them the entire time. Little bastard, hurry up, said Lin Feng to Yan Di in the distance. Little bastard. Don't you think I'm already trying, said Yan Di loudly. The sealed area was proving difficult to destroy. Lin Feng, Qing Lin, get next to me, said Mu Chen. Then, everybody surrounded Emperor Yu. A metallic ringing sounded as three silhouettes appeared in front of Mu Chen. One of them had a spear which contained terrifying ghostly qi. On his left, there was someone with an iron tower, then the one on the right was skinny and controlled terrifying wind energies. A medium-level emperor and two low-level emperors. Lin Feng felt like they were suffocating from those pressures. Lin Feng looked at his fellow disciples and smiled, we must all live, for Tiantai, for our teachers. For Tiantai, shouted Ho Qing Lin. Slash, the terrifying spear slashed ahead. It was as if wailing ghosts were throwing themselves at Mu Chen. Mu Chen shivered, but then turned into a million shadows, which immediately moved towards the enemy. Slash, slash, the long spear turned into a black shadow itself. Quickly, it turned into 100 spears and attacked the different shadows Mu Chen had created. The one with the iron tower also jumped, the ground exploding under his feet. He turned into a gigantic stone and created countless stones which surrounded Lin Feng and the other disciples. The wind cultivator flew towards Emperor Yu. At the same, he released wind cosmic energies which oppressed the disciples formed Tiantai. He wanted to capture Tiantai's disciples while killing Emperor Yu. "I'll block him, you go and kill the others," shouted Mu Chen. Then, an old man in a golden robe jumped forwards and threw himself at the strong cultivator with the spear. Slash, the long spear slashed ahead and pierced the old emperor's body. Then the attacker smiled evilly. "Take him," shouted the old emperor. Mu Chen threw himself at that cultivator. "Be careful," shouted the cultivator with the spear. The old emperor had surprisingly grabbed the spear which was stuck in his body. "Die," shouted that cultivator. Qi emerged from the spear, but the old man still held on to the spear. Immortal blood, that cultivator recognized what was happening. Mu Chen then landed in front of the wind cultivator, and that person's soul started shaking violently. After that, Mu Chen crushed his body just like he had done just before. "He's my teacher and the Watcher's father," whispered Lin Feng. The others looked amazed as well. As many people had already said, anyone could wear a plaited bamboo hat and become a Watcher. Chapter 1527, Escape. Soul strength is even more powerful than physical strength, thought Lin Feng. The Earth Emperor suddenly stopped. His Earth cosmic energy turned into stone cosmic energy, making his defense even more terrifying. He didn't fear ordinary medium-level emperors, but he feared Mu Chen and his soul attacks. Ah, at that moment, another horrible shriek sounded. "Teacher!" Yi Renlei looked extremely sad. Her teacher was softly lying on the ground, her face was deathly pale. A terrifying golden light emerged from her body, her cosmic energies were leaving her body, and she was dying. "Yi Ren, you have to live on," said the Six Desires Empress smiling. While Mu Chen was killing the two emperors, another enemy who was a medium-level emperor killed the empress. There were more fighters than they had thought. Boom! A terrifying strength destroyed the Six Desires Empress body. Then the medium-level emperor ran towards Mu Chen. Lin Feng's face turned deathly pale. If Yan Di didn't manage to break that empty space's wall, they would all die. At that moment, the ground shook, and a terrifying fire appeared. Explosions sounded and the ground quaked. Yan Di had done it. The medium-level emperor who had killed the Six Desires Empress had just landed in front of Mu Chen. He glanced at Yan Di. How could people from that small world break that empty space? "Si Kong Zhongming. Come and fight against them, I will deal with him," said a strong cultivator to another medium-level emperor. Then, someone else threw themselves at Yan Di. He was fast enough that he could easily catch up with Yan Di. "Let's go. Disperse," shouted Mu Chen to Lin Feng and the others. His soul even started burning. "Brother," shouted people from Tiantai. Even though they now knew Mu Chen was Emperor Shi, they continued calling him brother, because they were used to it. Suddenly, several of Mu Chen's shadows appeared. He grabbed all those who weren't emperors and left with them in different directions. "Where are you going?" shouted Si Kong Zhongming. Space became distorted as a pair of terrifying eyes loomed overhead, breaking Mu Chen's illusions apart. Mu Chen released his godly awareness and controlled millions of threads to attack Si Kong Zhongming. Meanwhile, Lin Feng and Emperor Yu were in the arms of one of Mu Chen's shadows. "Lin Feng, escape," said the shadow to Lin Feng. Mu Chen's illusions could surprisingly speak. The clones who were carrying Emperor Yu and Lin Feng were running so fast that their feet were on fire. "Brother, you take care too," said Lin Feng to Mu Chen's clone. "Don't worry. They can't kill me that easily," said Mu Chen while smiling. "I can only take you this far. The area here is very vast, so they won't find you," said Mu Chen as he was becoming more illusory. He was too far from his original body, so he was losing strength. Teacher, shouted Lin Feng to Emperor Yu. Emperor Yu was injured, so Lin Feng had to take care of him. I'm alright, said Emperor Yu, even though he looked nervous. Lin Feng knew that Emperor Yu was worried about Mu Chen and the other disciples. Teacher, we need to hurry, said Lin Feng. Even though Mu Chen had brought them quite far, they still weren't safe. Emperors could still easily catch up with them. Then, they immediately started running. Is someone there? At that moment, Lin Feng sensed some extremely powerful qi in the distance. Were any of those people emperors? Lin Feng, amongst those 4 people, one of them is an emperor, said Emperor Yu. Lin Feng felt desperate. Unless those people didn't harbor ill intentions, Lin Feng and Emperor Yu were going to die. Without Yan Di and Mu Chen, nobody would have been able to escape from the empty space. What a bastard. If the messenger hadn't violated the rules, they wouldn't be in such a terrible situation. You think you can escape us? Yelled the emperor of the group who was chasing them. Surprisingly, an injured emperor had left the small world. Let us pass and I'll give you an incredible treasure, a treasure that you wouldn't believe could exist, said Lin Feng. The emperor was surprised and smiled. What treasure? A great emperor's imperial scriptures, said Lin Feng calmly. The emperor was staring at Lin Feng, full of suspicion. Lin Feng had imperial scriptures. You can't kill me as an excuse because it's in my godly awareness. If you kill me, it'll be gone. If you don't believe me, then you can just leave it up to fate, said Lin Feng. Can you prove you have imperial scriptures? The skills I use are part of imperial scriptures. Sense it, said Lin Feng. Suddenly, his entire body turned black, and he looked like a demon. That qi matches an emperor's qi. The emperor's eyes looked even more surprised. Great emperor's scriptures could make any cultivator of the Huang qi layer go insane. Let us go and I'll transmit it to you, said Lin Feng. The emperor looked pensive though. Would he really transmit that great emperor's ancient scriptures if he let them off? Chapter 1528, Conditions. The 3 cultivators who were with the emperor also looked interested. Great emperor's imperial scriptures were priceless items. Alright, I accept, said the emperor, smiling happily yet looking at Lin Feng in a deep meaningful way. He still didn't believe that Lin Feng would offer great imperial scriptures that easily. If he did, then he'd have no bargaining chips left, and he'd die. You should first prove your sincerity, said Lin Feng, glancing at the 3 other people indifferently. What do you mean? Asked the emperor, who was now releasing thunderous energies. How can I know that you won't kill me afterwards to make things secret? Use your thunderous energies to kill them. Betray your group and I will trust you, then I'll transmit the imperial scriptures to you, said Lin Feng in a cold way. You must pay the price to obtain something great. He's very smart. Even if I kill them, he won't transmit the imperial scriptures to me, thought that person. Then he said, if I kill them, I could also kill you after you transmit the scriptures to me. Therefore, I will first transmit half of it to you, then you will follow us, and you will also protect us along the way. After my teacher is cured, I will teach you the rest. That way, everybody will be safe, said Lin Feng, smiling. Thunders surrounded around Lin Feng. Transmit the great imperial scriptures to me and I'll let you pass, otherwise, I'll kill you on the spot, demanded that person. Lin Feng remained calm. He looked indifferent and said, I don't have much time. 3 seconds. Apart from the great imperial scriptures, I'll also transmit the dream of life ancient scriptures to you. You must die, said that person while releasing thunderous energies. A head exploded, but it wasn't Lin Feng's head. No, when the 2 others saw their friend die, they began to run away. But the emperor was merciless, he used force to surround those 2 people. Then thunderous cosmic energies moved towards them. The strong cultivator turned to Lin Feng and said coldly, is that enough? If you're not insane, you can never become strong. This place is not safe, so take us away first, said Lin Feng, smiling. The emperor wasn't happy to hear that though, so he yelled, half of the imperial scriptures. You betrayed your group because of great imperial scriptures. If someone finds us, they'll kill you and we won't be able to escape, shouted Lin Feng. That emperor instantly looked upset. Lin Feng kept fooling around, but he was caught up in his greed now, so he had to cope with Lin Feng. That desert is extremely vast. There are even some animal clans and tribes along the way. When we arrive at the nearest tribe, you must give me half of it. If you don't, I'll kill you both without hesitation, said the emperor coldly. Don't worry, said Lin Feng, nodding agreeably. Emperor Yu nodded too. Emperor Yu remained calm and serene. He was seated cross-legged in the air and he said nothing. He was happy that Lin Feng was brave, but at the same time, he wasn't reassured that Emperor posed a threat to them. Take us away now. We're all in danger, said Lin Feng to the Emperor. He didn't refuse, he took them away very quickly. He hoped he would have the opportunity to kill them after having received the whole scriptures. He especially looked forward to killing Lin Feng. The three of them moved very quickly. Just like the Emperor had said, that desert was huge. They flew for a long time without seeing anyone. Lin Feng looked back to where Mu Chen and everyone else were. But he was too far now, he could only hope the best for them. Lin Feng had his head turned to the side as they flew forwards because sand kept assaulting his face. It was a bit painful, but Lin Feng remained determined. He was alive, he was becoming stronger, and he had arrived in the great world. He'd have to remember those influential groups for later. Lin Feng, it was difficult for you to become strong, it was also difficult to leave the small world. Now, you must always be determined, and you must possess an indomitable will. Don't let anything stop you, said Emperor Yu in a gentle way. Don't worry, teacher, I will, said Lin Feng, smiling at his teacher. That's good. You're so talented, someday, you'll amaze the great world, said Emperor Yu to Lin Feng. Teacher, you need to remember that advice for yourself. You will be healed soon, said Lin Feng. He could tell that Emperor Yu didn't sound so optimistic about himself. All right. Emperor Yu nodded. The Emperor's purple eyes twinkled. Healed. Those people would die sooner or later. Lin Feng finally saw some buildings in the desert and some tribal villages. Those villages were as large as Yangzhou City, but the surroundings weren't much to look at. Everything was old and dry. What is this place in the great world? Asked Lin Feng to the Emperor. That desert only exists to connect the small world to the great world, said the Emperor vaguely. He didn't feel like explaining things to Lin Feng. We have access to the small world I come from in the desert, but do we have access to other small worlds? Asked Lin Feng. Indeed. We're almost in the village now, so remember your promise, said the Emperor. Then, they descended from the sky. We still need to get closer. This is only the periphery of the village, so if your friends come, it won't be safe, said Lin Feng. The Emperor groaned, so Lin Feng continued, we'll descend when we see the 9th ancient fortress and I'll transmit half of the imperial scriptures to you then. Then, we'll continue. Chapter 1529, For life. The Emperor stared at Lin Feng, but then he continued. They could already see the 9th fortress, so he flew ahead. Many people raised their heads in the village. Was that an emperor? These days, the celestial Qi castle has been dispatching a lot of strong cultivators to the desert and they're fighting a lot. The small worlds must be open, thought some people on the ground. Immediately after, they lowered their heads again, minding their own business. That village was a lot larger than Yangzhou City, but for strong cultivators, distances weren't that important. Quickly, the Emperor, Lin Feng and Emperor Yu arrived outside of the 9th fortress and landed. The Emperor looked at Lin Feng. This time, he knew he couldn't find any other excuse. I'll transmit half of the imperial scriptures to you using my godly awareness, said Lin Feng. The Emperor's eyes were twinkling with greed. Are you ready? Asked Lin Feng. Let's do it, said the emperor, nodding and closing his eyes, but he wasn't relaxed. He continued observing Lin Feng and Emperor Yu with his godly awareness. If they tried to do anything funny, he'd kill them. Lin Feng released his godly awareness towards the emperor's third eye. It contained the demon imperial scriptures. The cultivator opened his eyes after a short time and inspected his memories. His eyes were filled with greed. As expected, great imperial scriptures, very powerful. Unfortunately, I'm not a demon cultivator, said the emperor. Even though Lin Feng had only broken through to the 7th Zun Qi layer, with the demon imperial scriptures, he was probably a lot stronger than ordinary cultivators of the 8th Zun Qi layer. If he knew the imperial scriptures well, he might even fight against cultivators of the 9th Zun Qi layer. When will you give me the other half? Asked the emperor. He looked a bit reassured. He almost sounded friendly. My teacher has been injured by cosmic energies and I need him to heal. Otherwise, I won't be safe after you get the full deal, said Lin Feng. The emperor smiled and said in a gentle way, how could I? I would definitely let you go if you gave me the full scriptures. The emperor was in a great mood. He really thought about letting Lin Feng off. Of course, he just had that thought. He had betrayed his group, so he couldn't let Lin Feng off. Master, my teacher is injured, I need you to help me find a solution. After all, you're very strong and we're not familiar with the great world. The sooner you help, the faster you'll get the full scriptures. Thank you, Master, said Lin Feng, smiling politely. He even called the emperor Master. Lin Feng had an idea, but nobody knew what it was. Emperor Yu sighed. He knew that Lin Feng was obstinate and unruly. He was proud because Lin Feng was talented, but he was sad because if he hadn't been injured, he would have been able to protect Lin Feng. In this desert, there are many extremely powerful animal clans. They pose a threat to the tribes of the desert. However, those who are from tribe fortresses also grow quickly. Each of these fortresses have a healer. We can try and find one. However, your teacher has been injured by an emperor, so unless we find a healer who is an emperor, he won't be able to recover completely, said the emperor in a gentle way. Why don't we leave the desert? The great world can't only be a huge desert, said Lin Feng. This great world had to have powerful cities. My group controls small worlds, and not only yours. All the tribe fortresses here belong to them, so you can't imagine how powerful they are. Even though I don't know if other people escaped, like you, this time they really have clear and precise goals that they will follow no matter what. They won't let any escapee off, but in this tribe fortress, you're safe, said the emperor. Lin Feng sighed. What was the Imperial Assassin Union's goal? Did they have other goals for cleaning the small worlds? So, Master, how can we heal my teacher? Asked Lin Feng. We need to find a priestess, said the emperor. Each fortress has a priestess whose duty is to heal. Lin Feng and Emperor Yu followed him while hiding their qi, looking like ordinary people. After a short time, they arrived in front of the entrance to a tribe and crossed the door. It was a tribe and it wasn't a nice place. It was dusty, simple, and nothing was sophisticated. Everybody there were tanned to the color of copper. Lin Feng was too handsome in comparison. Many people looked at him in a way which made him feel uncomfortable. Lin Feng's skin was very white, he looked clean and elegant. In that place, there was nobody like him. Don't show your strength. Be discreet, otherwise some people will inspect your strength and will know about us, said the emperor, hiding his own qi too. He used telepathy to talk to them. Lin Feng and Emperor Yu nodded and followed. Chapter 1530, Dialogue. In the center of the territory, there was a tidy row of cottages surrounded by fields of medicinal herbs. There was a woman wearing a golden and white dress who was sorting herbs. Yun, you brought so many herbs again, said an old man smiling at the woman. Grandpa, they contributed a lot. Without them, I wouldn't have gotten so much, replied Yun, gesturing towards a young man. Hee hee, without you, they'd have lost their lives, said the old man smiling. A strong young man was carrying an animal body on his shoulders behind them. That animal was a few dozens of meters and was 7-8 meters tall. It had golden hair covering its body. Rongqing, you're really hard-working, said the old man. The woman smiled and looked Rongqing, who threw the animal body on the ground. Yun, here it is. Thank you, replied the young woman politely. Rongqing looked at her with love in his eyes and said, if everything's all right, I'm going. All right, said the girl nodding. Rongqing didn't want to leave, but he left anyways. After a few steps, he stopped again after seeing 3 strangers walking towards the girl. Lin Feng sensed that the young man was looking at him. He inspected him and found that he wasn't weak, 4th Zun Qi layer even. Zun cultivators must be normal in the holy city, thought Lin Feng. He noticed many Zun cultivators all around, even cultivators at the top of the Zun Qi layer. He didn't see any emperors though. Who are you? Asked Rongqing to Lin Feng and the 2 others. We're looking for Mu Yun, said Lin Feng. The young woman raised her head and walked towards them. Rongqing was fixedly staring at them and prevented them from passing. What do you want from her? Rongqing, let them pass, said the woman. Rongqing then let them pass, but he followed them. What do you want from me? Asked Mu Yun directly. Lin Feng was surprised. She had an amazing body and she looked gentle. Unlike everybody else in the tribe, she also had very white skin. My teacher is injured. We would like you to heal him, said Lin Feng pointing at Emperor Yu. Let me see. Mu Yun walked to Emperor Yu and put her hand on his shoulder. Then she released some pure celestial qi. After she inspected Emperor Yu's body, she said with surprise, your channel vessels are all broken, it's surprising that you're still alive or even look normal. My teacher's body is strong. Can you heal him though? Asked Lin Feng. Emperor Yu was still restraining his cosmic energies. Zun cultivators used their channel vessels to heal, but emperors were beyond strong in that if they still had qi, they didn't die. Let me try, but I'll need some time. I don't know if I'll succeed either, after all, I've never had such an injured patient, said Mu Yun frowning. Thank you, said Lin Feng. At least, they could try. Besides, they could hide there for some time. The desert was vast, and there were many tribes. I have some empty cottages, you can stay there and rest in the meantime, said Mu Yun. Rongqing was upset, so he said using telepathy, Yun, we don't know who they are. How can you let them stay here? Who would hurt me when he's this severely injured? Asked Mu Yun, shaking her head. Even though Rongqing wasn't happy, what could he do? Lin Feng was nervous, especially when he saw people flying above them in the sky. He was especially worried about his friends. At night, Lin Feng was seated cross-legged and practicing cultivation calmly. Emperor Yu was in the same room as him. The Thunder Emperor was next door, but he couldn't sleep because he kept thinking about the great emperor's imperial scriptures. He was worried that Lin Feng could escape as well. But after a few days, he felt more relaxed. Lin Feng and Emperor Yu stayed there and nobody came to look for them. Mu Yun wasn't an empress but she was a great healer. She knew some amazing techniques. She concocted some medicine and Emperor Yu's channel vessels slowly healed. She couldn't heal his cosmic energies though. Lin Feng, Emperor Yu recovered a lot. Will you transmit the great emperor's ancient scriptures to me now? Asked the Thunder Emperor in a courtyard. Not yet, said Lin Feng shaking his head. How long do I still have to wait? Asked the Thunder Emperor in a cold way. I will tell you when the right time comes, of course. Otherwise, you can just kill me, said Lin Feng in a cold way. Then, he walked back to his cottage. The Emperor was furious, but he decided to wait. He waited for Lin Feng to leave before whispering, once you transmit the scriptures to me, you'll die. Lin Feng continued practicing cultivation day and night. Emperor, you could only watch as Lin Feng practiced cultivation. Sometimes, he saw Lin Feng's painful facial expressions and sighed. He didn't know what Lin Feng was studying, but it looked painful. Besides, he was practicing cultivation every day without break. Lin Feng had already been in that world for 7 days now. Back in a gigantic city in the desert, there was a gigantic castle which looked like a shrine. The flight of stairs which lead to the entrance was astonishingly lofty. At that moment, in that castle, a middle-aged man in golden clothes was punching an ancient wooden table furiously. The ground shook each time he threw a punch. Emperor Dong was there too. "How many days?" said someone in a weak voice. 7 days, said a strong cultivator respectfully. That strong cultivator was the one who had fought against Mu Chen, the medium-level emperor. 7 days, where are the people I want? Everybody lowered their heads. They didn't dare talk. "Seal the passages, if you see anyone, capture them," said that person furiously. "Besides, I will send people to inspect the desert, every single castle in the desert." Chapter 1531, Small World's People, inspect everything, yelled the middle-aged man, hammering on the table with his fists. "So many people escaped from you, I don't understand how you could let this happen." Those around him were covered in a cold sweat. Emperor Dong looked terrified, he didn't dare raise his head. At that moment, the middle-aged man slowly stood up, making the crowd around him feel extremely nervous. "Emperor Dong," shouted the middle-aged man. Emperor Dong was shaking, but he replied, "Present." "You're lucky that you have my blood. Even though we sent you to a small world because you couldn't rely on your own abilities to break through to the Huang Qi layer, we still spent a lot of resources raising you," said the middle-aged man. Emperor Dong almost collapsed. He knew how bad-tempered that middle-aged man was. "I am fully devoted," said Emperor Dong shaking. "Since that sword emperor doesn't want to let us restrain the small world, go to the small world and tell everyone that the world they live in is just a small world controlled by stronger cultivators. Also, tell the messenger to relax the restrictions to come out. Let nature take its course," said the middle-aged man calmly. Emperor Dong's heart was pounding violently. He could only imagine how many people would want to leave that world if he told them that their world was fake. Many of them would want to come to the great world and the situation would be chaotic and apocalyptic. Relax the restrictions to come out. Emperor Dong didn't really understand, but he didn't dare ask. In the future, the strong cultivators from Ba Huang and Jiu Yu would want to live in the great world, including those who already came. A day later, Emperor Dong went back to Ba Huang. Emperor Qi and him started telling everyone that they lived in a small world and that the holy city was the real world. Many people were astonished. Xue Baiyao was in the celestial land of alchemists when she heard the news, so this is a small world. In the western part of Ba Huang, 2 beautiful girls looked at the sky and the clouds, all of this is fake. In the brutal part of Ba Huang, in the bestial imperial palace, a great oriental greenfinch rock attacked a mountain in rage before he flew up towards the sky, emitting sonic booms behind him. He looked ferocious as he said, "I'm a great oriental greenfinch rock, so I must leave Ba Huang and go to the great world. The sky can't stop me." Diviner, you weren't exactly right. Many geniuses looked in the direction of eastern Ba Huang. It was said that the end of the world was there, that the passage to go to the great world was there. Lin Feng was sitting outside looking at a tree. He looked calm and serene, he wasn't releasing any qi. "Lin Feng, you're still here. How's your teacher?" asked an old man smiling. "He's much better, Papa Bai," said Lin Feng smiling. "Huh, Yun is the goddess of our tribe. No man has ever managed to seduce her, but you should try," said Papa Bai smiling, he was in a good mood. "But let me tell you, Yun wants a young man who is at least a cultivator at the top of the Zun Qi layer, so good luck." "No hope," said Lin Feng smiling in a gentle way and shrugging, making Papa Bai laugh. Papa Bai, you're talking about me in a bad way, said Mu Yun. Lin Feng turned around. She really looked beautiful as she healed Emperor Yu. Even Lin Feng, who was used to being with beautiful women, sighed. Lin Feng smiled at Mu Yun in a gentle and warm way. Mu Yun nodded at him but was surprised when she saw Lin Feng's resplendent smile. Apart from helping her teacher, she also allowed them to live with their tribe. She looked at them in a gentle way. They were different from all the men she had met in her life. They looked like they had gone through many hardships. Lin Feng is here every day, and he has nothing to do. He's not even practicing cultivation. Even if he wanted to be in a relationship with you, I wouldn't agree, said Papa Bai jokingly. They were sitting on a bamboo chair looking at a tree. In the desert, a tree was a grand thing. Mu Yun smiled thinly, and Papa Bai didn't say anything. That night, the desert became cold as the sun set. Papa Bai and Mu Yun went back to their houses while Lin Feng went back to his courtyard. But suddenly, someone appeared in front of him with a mad look in his eyes. Then, a hand filled with thunderous energies grabbed his throat. It's been 10 days. I've waited long enough. Lin Feng frowned. Emperor Yu came out of his cottage and said coldly, let him go. If he doesn't transmit the rest of the scriptures to me, I'll kill him, said the Thunder Emperor madly. Lin Feng nodded and said, all right, let's go outside to the desert. I don't want to release my godly awareness here. This time, the Emperor was happily speechless. He hadn't thought that Lin Feng would immediately accept. He smiled and let go of Lin Feng. Ah, good, you should have done that before. I won't hurt you anyways. Let's go out, said Lin Feng. The Emperor, Emperor Yu and Lin Feng were extremely fast as they flew in the night. In just a few seconds, they were already outside, and there was nobody in sight. All right, here is good. Let's do it, said the Emperor impatiently. Master, don't think of killing us to destroy any evidence. I also have the Dream of Life ancient scriptures, which in a month, I'll transmit them to you, said Lin Feng. The Thunder Emperor smiled and said, all right, all right. How could I ever kill you guys anyways? He was thinking, Lin Feng is very vigilant, he wants to protect himself with that Dream of Life ancient scriptures. No problem, I'll wait until I have all his treasures and kill him then. He was confident that a cultivator of the 7th Zun Qi layer couldn't possibly pose a threat to him, and Emperor Yu was an emperor from a small world and he was injured, so he couldn't fight against him either. Master, I'm starting, said Lin Feng, who was condensing his godly awareness. The Thunder Emperor's eyes twinkled with excitement. Lin Feng's godly awareness moved into his third eye, but he couldn't relax at all. He kept glancing at Emperor Yu. However, a black strength penetrated the Thunder Emperor's third eye. He frowned after he sensed something. Then he suddenly opened his eyes and lightning emerged from them. Chapter 1532, Celestial Castles. He sensed cursing strength and a destructive godly awareness invade him. Lin Feng was just a cultivator of the 7th Zun Qi layer and yet he dared plot against him. Thunders boomed, and lightning shot out from the Emperor. Boom, the Thunder Emperor was shaking as some soul-cursing energies exploded in his brain. Die! Lin Feng's godly awareness was still invading the Thunder Emperor's brain. He was also using his godly awareness palace with the soul-cursing energies. He knew he couldn't kill his enemy, so he was trying to stun him. Emperor Yu was an emperor, so he already knew what Lin Feng was going to do. While Lin Feng used his broken soul godly awareness on the Thunder Emperor, Emperor Yu attacked and released his most powerful cosmic energies. He immediately struck the Thunder Emperor. Arg! The Thunder Emperor shouted furiously. Suddenly, he released an infinite amount of thunder energies which crashed onto Emperor Yu's body. Emperor Yu had already made an armor out of cosmic energies for Lin Feng, but it broke away easily. Arg! Lin Feng shouted like a demon. Now, Lin Feng's sword lights moved towards the enemy. Kaboom! thunders descended from the sky as a thunder god illusion appeared. This illusion was also holding a thunder hammer. What a powerful spirit, thought Emperor Yu. Emperor Yu jumped forwards and released terrifying energies in the Thunder Emperor's direction. His physical body exploded and was destroyed, but because his spirit was so powerful, it didn't die with his body. Emperor Yu rose up in the air and released more cosmic energies to attack that spirit. With that, the enemy's spirit slowly faded. But the spirit didn't stop, it started running away instead. Emperor Yu and Lin Feng were lying on the ground. Emperor Yu's injuries were even more severe. Lin Feng's organs were injured as well. They hadn't even managed to kill the emperor completely. Unfortunately, one more attack and they would have managed to kill him. But at least they were out of danger for now. "Teacher, are you alright?" Lin Feng crawled on the ground. "Could be better." "Let's go back," said Emperor Yu, smiling and crawling up as well. He then said, "Lin Feng, you already did a great job." He managed to escape because his soul is stronger than many low-level emperors from Ba Huang. I used cosmic energies and destroyed his physical body but not his soul. Of course, I'm injured, otherwise I could have done better. Indeed, said Lin Feng laughing. They had been loud, so people were surely going to find out about them. They both immediately went back to the fortress. As expected, people were shouting and panicking after they heard the battle. Lin Feng and Emperor Yu got away from the crowd. They couldn't expose themselves, otherwise other enemies might find them. They opened the main gate and entered. There was someone sitting on a stone chair, illuminated by the bright moon. "You're back. You shouldn't go outside because you're injured," said the girl, smiling in a gentle way. Then, she looked at Lin Feng and said, "What happened? Did some of the young men from the tribe bully you? Tomorrow, I will check your injuries, but you two should sleep for now." Then, the girl slowly walked out of the fortress. As she passed by Lin Feng, he could smell her perfume. After she left, they closed the gate behind them. Then, Lin Feng and Emperor Yu glanced at each other and walked to the courtyard silently. What was happening outside no longer had anything to do with them. Lin Feng and Emperor Yu slept all night. The next day, Mu Yun continued healing Emperor Yu. She checked his injuries and released pure celestial energies without saying anything. Then, her energies flew throughout Emperor Yu's body and healed him. She noticed that his injuries were worse than the day before, but she said nothing. "Let me see that now," said Mu Yun to Lin Feng, after she finished with Emperor Yu. Lin Feng nodded and stretched out his arms. He put his hands on her hands and she released pure celestial again. "Why do they call you a priestess?" asked Lin Feng, trying to think of something to say. "Because we don't live for ourselves. We live for other people," said Mu Yun gently. "You don't live for yourselves?" Lin Feng continued, "Everybody respects you and many men are attracted by you in the tribe, isn't that good? The 9 celestial palaces choose girls from different tribes and teach them particular powers. Although everybody respects those priestesses, we don't have much freedom. Our everything belongs to those celestial castles, including our lives," said Mu Yun in a gentle voice. She didn't know why she said all this to Lin Feng, but maybe it was because she knew Lin Feng's secret. "You're from the small world, so you probably haven't been to the big cities yet. When you're both cured, I'll take you out and show you the celestial castle," said Mu Yun with a smile. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.